Zeus. Living big vibe. Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate, 1600 on the map. Supposed to be the people's house, I made it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers, I'm balling through the wall. Power to the people, yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, running right into that need. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the keys. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard, I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bag. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. Balance in my hand, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rules, Lincoln, MLK. Now
greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. W Red. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome. Tabira, welcome. Nice to see you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Did you miss me? You know what I mean? Greatest story ever told. I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. Yes! Happy Friday. Let's go. You know what we came to do, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that difficult.
Stains on my kicks and the rally outside, and the gates is locked. This power never divides. Spitting for the block. Head buses make 'em wanna fight. 1600, do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap. Fight for the keys, that's a fact. It's a rap, I'ma bring it back. In the people's house, power's in the air. It's the people's house, we knocking on your door.
Let's go.
It's the people's house,
We want to hear your soul. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, good morning. Happy Friday, August 29th, right before Labor Day. All right, and you know we got real work to do in order to save this great country of ours. All right, so let's get that going, and then we'll do what we got to do and get up out of here. All right. You got to get the, you got to get the operation off the ground. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, welcome to the show.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks.
I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass.
Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw,
I won't finish last. Let's go. But you're famous. The algorithm turned me to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. And if they is my ex, that mean they left me. I say it with my chest cause I'm here. W, Marissa. Hey, WVIP, good morning, wow. All right, here it goes.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days. That shit was radical.
Oh, keep it clean.
It was horrible.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Zeus has gone way off.
Oh, WR. It hurts, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Doesn't it hurt? Oh my gosh. All right, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, once again we are back in the Thunderdome. I am your host, I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we are gathered here. We have to do the incredible work that it takes to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of you-know-who, Donald J. Trump and his legion of MAGA demons, who we all know are just so hell-bent on destroying this great country of ours, all right? And so we do that one show at a time, and actually what we're doing is having a positive impact all over the world. We're bringing his poll numbers right back to reality. And make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, they're so desperate. W Chocolate, right? They're so desperate. I mean, you know the numbers that they are putting out right now. Right now, they're putting out fake numbers about gas prices and stuff like that. And you just have to sit back and go, only people who are gullible and just easy to manipulate, the poorly educated, would fall for this. Meanwhile, the rest of us know right now that a lot of this success that we are hearing about is a bunch of lies. W Kabira, now, so nice to see you, right? And so what we'll do is I will continue to chart, lead the path and get us to the right side keep us on the right side, I should say, because we're on the right side. They're on the wrong side, by telling you the truth about a lot of things that are going on. And so before I do that, though, let me take care of some housekeeping items. W Rick in the chat, all right? For those of you who don't know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H, it's because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. All right, and then you might as well just pretend like my hands are resting on a stack of Bibles, right? The second H is it's because I'm humble. Listen, if I get it wrong, I'll be the first to apologize. But here's the thing: just because your feelings are hurt, it doesn't mean that I owe you an apology. It actually means that you might need to sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast, all right? And that's a W, Zeus. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Look at my features. Hold on, let me get the backup account going. Oh my gosh, somebody just said, Zeus, get the backup account going, because you know what they want to do to you when you get on, when you start cooking and booking the way that I do. They want to get you, they want to clip you and take you down. All right, so that's my backup account. Make sure you're following. Now, I just introduced myself, but I always got to tell a quick story. So yesterday I go into a Blaga space. Her name was Gigi. You all probably saw me in there. I was very briefly in there, and I go in there, and you know what she said? She's a black lady, and I don't even want to say that she's black, but I got to do this because I got to send her straight to hell because she was just so disrespectful, and it was a violation. And to all the people who are still supporting Donald Trump, I just want you to understand you can't really contribute much to me, because when I see you, I know that when you look in the mirror, you hate yourselves, all right? And you hate your country. W Zeus. She says, well, Zeus, she has a question in the background, and she's wearing a bright yellow dress, and it was just like, I was like, well, okay, Big Bird, fair enough, but okay. What she said, what was her question? Are white liberals the biggest problem in America? This was her prompt, and I put it down in her chat, and I said, ma'am, take the background down. You're an embarrassment to your family, you're an embarrassment to your friends, and you're an embarrassment to your community. Who are you? And I said, well, I'm Zeus, Triple H, honest, humble, and I don't care who you are. I said, why are you getting so triggered? I'm telling you the truth. The biggest problem in America is ignorance. The biggest problem in America are uninformed Trump voters. That's so, and it is so funny how they like to cherry pick the things that Malcolm X has said that fits into their narrative, but they didn't listen to Malcolm X, because if they did, they would have to tell Malcolm X while they're sitting in the party that votes for the Triple K, votes right alongside the Triple K, and in some cases they are the Triple K. So this is what I'm going to do, Gigi, since you wanted to drop Big Zeus, and I don't care, because your poll numbers reflect what I already knew. Gigi, with your yellow dress, do us all a huge, huge favor, and I might get into some trouble for that. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm a nice person, all right? I really am nice. But the gloves, honestly, they got to come off. And so what we'll do is we'll send Blaga, Gigi, yellow dress, Big Bird looking. Let's go ahead and send her where she belongs, ladies and gentlemen, straight to hell.
Silence.
Yeah.
You MAGA.
And you can block me if you want to. I could care less. Because I already know a lot of you Trump voters, you Trump supporters, y'all won't be here next time around when it's time to vote, because Donald Trump is going to take you out. But before I go any further, I forgot to do what I'm supposed to do. If this is your first time listening to a broadcast like this, yes, I'm a Trump hater, but I do it in the right way, right? I get out here and I use my platform and my ability to, shine the light on the truth. I don't need to do anything. I don't promote violence at all. I promote love. And what I do is we go through the news together and we make sure that everyone understands what's really going on out here and don't get influenced by the right-wing propaganda channel, which we all know is fueled and funneled by guess who? Vladimir Putin. And so if you are, do I have any Trump supporters out there? Do I have any Trump voters out there? Identify yourselves in the chat. Do I have any Trump supporters out there? Do I have any Trump supporters out there? Let me double check real quick because yeah. Do we have any Trump voters out there? Okay, Tiny Tank Top 10. All right, well listen up. You know what I do on this part of the show. If you don't want me to ruin your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and everything in between, you might want to leave this live right now. You could go hang out with these fake TikTok hosts, and they'll lie to you. And one of my pet peeves right now are the conservative women on TikTok that are hosting lives and defending Donald Trump, trying to act like they are, bros. They try to, yeah, that's what it is. They try to act like they're bros, right? So what I'll do is this: if you don't want to hear what I gotta say, and you don't want your feelings hurt, leave right now, because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you. I promise you it will. But get this: you don't gotta take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right, and so with that, the door to the Thunderdome is officially closed. I take no responsibility for how the sparks start to fly, because they start flying once I get in here. I used to be a lot more reserved, and I still am, because I still think it's very important to, keep in mind there's an audience out here that they're watching from a distance, and they want to see how I navigate some very, very difficult situations that involve MAGA, right? We know MAGA, they come up here and they do a great job they do a great job deflecting from reality, right? We know that's one of their strategies. We know MAGA loves to bring up President Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, Bill Clinton. They love to do all of these things. And then it's a strategy that they think will work in terms of showing you and showing the world how terrible Democrats really are. And I don't really allow that to trigger me like I used to, because when they first do the move on you, it's a shock, and you're like, oh, I've never seen that move before, and no, you're not gonna get me. But now I understand that move is totally ineffective, because the best thing that you can do whenever they start doing that is just to say, hey, what's going on with those Epstein files, right? So that's a W, Zeus, right? What's going on with those Epstein files, genius? To care less about what you got to say to me about Joe Biden. Joe Biden did his 4 years. He's not president. He didn't get impeached. I don't care about anything you say to me about Joe Biden or any other former president. We're talking about the one that's sitting in the White House, so to speak. But I brought it up very briefly. I said, what's really getting under me is the conservative women who try to defend Donald Trump, and they try to act like they're bros and they're with the program, right? You see this? Do you see this, ladies and gentlemen? They get on TikTok and they try to talk to the Democrat men and say we're betas, we're weak, and they act like they are so tough. And I sit there and I go, they got to knock this stuff off, because they will be and I've seen it happen. Whenever something happens, their husband cheats on them, right? This always happens. My husband cheated on me. And so what did you do? I hope you stood by him, and said, baby, we'll work all of this out, and, continue to support him, because you understand, you don't judge the man by the actions he's done. You judge him by his policies. And is he still paying the bills in the house? Yes, he's still paying the bills, but that doesn't mean anything. He cheated on. And I go, oh, that's not what you were saying on TikTok when Donald Trump was out there, when we were talking to you about Donald Trump cheating on all his wives. Do you remember what you said to the conservative women? Do you remember what you said when we were telling you Donald Trump cheated on his wives and you made excuses? And I kept trying to tell them, if I were dating, and this is me, old me, not new me, because I don't do it anymore. But if I were in a relationship with a woman that sat there and said, I'm okay with Donald Trump cheating on his wives. Imagine this. Imagine you're in a relationship with somebody who says, I'm okay with Donald Trump cheating on his wives. What do you think you're saying to your partner, ladies? What do you think you're saying to your partner? What do you think? What you're telling your partner is, hey, I'm okay with you going out there and doing the same thing the president is doing. And so that's why I say that's a W Zeus, because I know that they're not, right? It's all a lie. Yeah, it's all a lie, and they're doing it at their own demise, and they think I don't see it for what it is. You're all a bunch of liars. You're all are a bunch of hypocrites. And look, you can put on that cross. This is what they do. They go and they talk and they put a cross on, and I guess they think when they talk, everything they say is true. Is that what the thing is? Because no one buys it, ladies. No one. If disaster comes your way, ladies, you will be the first one to try to pretend like you're a victim. You might actually be a victim, right? And that's what I've been saying to a lot of people out here. I go, you got to start living in reality. Yeah, there are a lot of situations in which women are truly victims. And y'all got to stop pretending like it ain't really that when we all know what it is. We give you the example of E. Jean Carroll. And it really bothers me to have women, so-called Christian women, say, oh, E. Jean Carroll, she could take it. She joked around about this and that. And I go, wow. And you're a Christian? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to do this. To all the conservative women, you won't come up here and defend Donald Trump and his dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds. You won't do it over here, because when we hold your feet to the fire, you know what you'll probably do. You'll probably have a serious emotional moment. You know, this is what they said to me when I was really just getting on them. I was like, so you're okay with this? I was talking about Jeffrey Epstein. And then they go, oh, well, and this could be a trigger warning. And they always say, well, I was a victim at a certain point in their life. And I'm going, that's the whole point, right? If you were a victim of those things, how could you sit up here and tell another person who's been a victim of the sitting president how they should have responded? See, that's why I say the most dangerous thing in this country, ladies and gentlemen, it's MAGA. It's MAGA. It's their hypocrisy that's causing innocent people to continue to suffer. And I don't get what they are getting out of this. What are you getting out of lying for Donald Trump? I talked to Tiny Tank Top Tim the other day, and this is another example of just plumb dumb silliness. Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom thinks that he's coming to my platform, and I believe he thinks he's smarter than Zeus, and I think somehow he thinks all this awareness we have of who he is somehow going to elevate his tax bracket, right? So he's telling a story yesterday, and I'm going to send both him and the conservative women straight to hell for this. So he's telling a story to his, I don't even want to call them followers, to the people who actually entertain him about how he lives. And, if you don't go to regular stores and shop, right, you go to the thrift store. I understand that that's the way you got to live. And that's his way of life. He lives off of a solid $800 a month. Am I right, Tiny Tank Top Tim Top? You live off of a solid $800 a month. Everything in his world is paid off. I think his house maybe costs $30,000 and it's paid off. And he believes he's truly doing well. And so he's bragging about, he said he had so much money saved up. Get this, lady, come here, you won't believe it. He said, I have so much money saved up, I don't believe in taking a thing from the government. But his job is a byproduct, because I think he works with HUD, right? So he's literally living off the government, taking people's money who are less fortunate. This is what this guy does. When the presidents sent, they sent us the COVID checks, he said, I didn't even take my pandemic check. I'm such an American. I got the check, looked at it, and I said, wrong address, and I sent that money back to the government. This guy, I said, wow, do people really buy the way this man talks? And they all ate it up. Oh, wow, that's so American of you, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. And then, he goes on and he says, but you know what? If I lose my job, I'll mush toilets for a living. And I said, see, this is the backwards ideology. This is the backwards thinking that I say is going on in the cult. These are some nasty people. They're hypocrites and they're liars. And so I just want to say this to all the liars out there that support Donald Trump. Do us all a huge favor. He'll do it. He'll mush your toilet. He said he'll do it. He'll send the money. He won't even take the money. He'll just do it. He'll just do it because he loves toilets. These are some sick people. W. Kabira, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom and the so-called conservative women who believe Donald Trump is a great person. Let's go ahead and send them straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA daily.
Now, we're going to get into some topics today, obviously. Oh, W. Rick, thank you. Because we know these people are liars. We know these people are struggling, all right? But before we get into that, I just wanted to call this out. So this morning, we all woke up to the news that Donald Trump canceled Vice President Kamala Harris's Secret Service. Y'all heard about that? Y'all heard about the danger the sitting president of the United States has actively placed our vice president in? Yeah. Canceled her. Biden gave her an extension because she's the first black woman to be the vice president, and all the threats that she got, all the threats that she's been getting, he said she's going to need Secret Service. And what does Donald Trump, the little man that he is, the vindictive individual that he is, decide to do? Because she's going on a book tour, 107 Days, that's the name of her book. He decides to cancel her Secret Service protection. You see what I'm saying? But you know what? We're not going to even let that get to us because, Donald Trump he's not God. All right? As much as he tries to pretend like he's God, we know that it's actually just another thing he's done that's going to get him fast-tracked, in my opinion, straight to hell. It really is, because the good book says, what the devil meant for evil, God will turn to good. What the devil meant for evil, God can turn to good. And I firmly believe Vice President Kamala Harris, she's going to be all right. I do. I truly do believe she's going to be all right. But, I just got to say this to the Trump supporters. Where is your patriotism? Where is your outrage? Because if this would have been the other way around, imagine President Biden deciding one day, and I get it, there's a difference between the president and the vice president, right? And I've heard them say, oh, well, she was only supposed to get it for 6 months. Okay, great, but President Biden gave it to her for a longer time, gave it to her for over a year. And so a word of the president, it should be your bond, right? But it just goes to show you how corrupt, how crooked, and how evil and vile and disgusting Donald Trump is. And so because he did that, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send Donald Trump's evil, vindictive self, because he took away Vice President Kamala Harris's Secret Service protection. Let's go ahead and send him straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA daily.
He clearly has a problem with black women. I see it all over the Trump. I mean, if you can't see it, I don't know what else to say. You must be blind. But Donald Trump, and then, I'll go ahead and say it. I think all of his supporters, I'm starting to think it. I think all of Donald Trump's supporters have a problem with black women, especially Blagga. Now, yeah, because every time y'all get in the box, y'all always crying this woe is me story, and every grievance you have seems to be tied to race. You seem to feel like you're a bunch of victims. You just can't make this stuff up. Now, here's another example of you just can't make this stuff up. Yesterday, Caroline Lyon Levitt, she goes and gives a press conference, and what does she do? She makes up stories about a country called the United States that we all live in, and she just paints a picture that we all know is completely false. And so what we'll do is we'll let Caroline lie to us, and then we'll get to judgment. Hold on. Let's get this going. My goodness. There we go. Here we go. So sometimes you gotta do the refresh.
To make America affordable again.
There we go.
On Tuesday, September 23rd. On another matter, as Americans make their Labor Day weekend travel plans, they will be able to enjoy 5-year low gas prices thanks to President Trump fully unleashing American energy dominance. President Trump ended Joe Biden's Green New Scam policies and is delivering on his promise to make America affordable again. These savings at the pump are giving everyday American families more room in their budgets at the end of each month, which is the exact opposite of what we saw under the previous administration.
Does anybody have any extra room in your wallet now as a result of what Caroline is talking about? W to the chat. Everybody knows she's a liar. Everybody sees that she's lying. So,
and as we commemorate Labor Day this year, we finally have a president who fights and delivers for the American worker every single day. President Trump believes that American workers are the heart and soul of our economy and our national identity.
Wow.
Which is why he's championed an agenda that puts them first always. For decades, the hardworking men and women of our country who built the greatest nation in world history were sold out by selfish, greedy, short-sighted globalists who put our country on a path to economic and cultural ruin. They hollowed out our factories and towns and betrayed the American working class by shipping jobs overseas and importing millions of low-wage migrants to replace American workers. Under President Trump, this national disgrace is over. American workers are, once again, being put at the center of national trade policy, and the dignity of American labor is being defended. As a result, President Trump has already brought in nearly $10 trillion in new private and foreign investments so that the top businesses in the world can create high-paying jobs in America and hire American workers to fill them. In fact, since President Trump took office, the economy has added more than 500,000 new jobs to the workforce. In a stark reversal from the Biden administration, all of that job creation has been driven by private sector growth, and all employment gains have gone to native-born Americans. Wages for blue-collar workers are now rising at the fastest rate in the past 60 years. And the average American worker has already seen a $500 wage increase this year alone.
$500. I'll take the bait. I'll take the bait, Caroline. Is there a Trump supporter out there that can actually confirm they've gotten this $500? Because we've heard the 500. No, we were supposed to get $5,000, right, from the Doge. We were supposed to get $5,000. Then we were supposed to get a check as a result of Liberation Day. You know, all those tariffs, that $130 billion. So we didn't get a check then. We didn't get a check. And then out of nowhere, I guess we got 500 smackaroos. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter and you actually got that $500. All right. And I just want you to, I don't even need to talk to you. I just need you to show us. Someone wrote MAGA is so stupid. You're right. But I promise you, you will hear them on this app, go to X, and you will hear these right-wing content creators saying this stuff. You've gotten $500. What good? Okay, even if you were to have given us the $500, look at the cost, how everything has gone up. It means nothing. If you give me $500 and that gets swallowed in just 1 month of a utility bill, so it's not a raise, it's actually an insult. But, you know, I guess when you say it with a cross on like that, it just sounds so honest, right?
Thanks to the largest middle tax cuts ever signed into law by President Trump, with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, Americans in all 50 states will keep more of their hard-earned money. The average American taxpayer will see a tax cut of nearly $4,000 because of these pro-growth provisions, according to analysis from the Nonpartisan Tax Foundation. So
you're going to get a $500 and then you got $4,000 tax cut. Does anyone buy this, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, yeah, and then she says all these other things about the success of the big, beautiful bill. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll be the first one to tell you everything she is saying it's honestly a flat out lie. And if you buy this, there's something wrong with you.
In other news, President Trump continues to deliver on his promise to restore law and order to our nation's capital. Since President Trump's intervention, there have been more than 1,283 arrests right here in the District of Columbia. Total crime in DC is down 19%, and violent crime is down 30%. Carjackings in the district are down 67%.
Okay.
Homicides
Oh.
are down 57%.
Oh.
Robberies are down 40%.
Oh.
Motor vehicle thefts are down 32%.
Wow.
And assaults with dangerous weapons are down 23%. And property crime is down 18%.
Wow. I guess that sounds like Donald Trump is real tough on crime, Caroline. But while she's just rattling off all these numbers, because we all know that Donald Trump's administration does not release real numbers. I just couldn't help but wonder. It's like, well, if you could do all of that and you could bring the National Guard to Washington, D.C., Caroline, how come you can't get Donald Trump to release those Epstein files, right? And that's a W, Zeus. Isn't it so interesting that the Epstein. You can do all of this. You're so tough on crime, but for some strange reason, Caroline, you and Donald Trump are covering up for arguably the most dangerous thing going on in America right now. And it's tied to Jeffrey Epstein. And we'll get into that in short order because I can't stick here and listen to this liar. So what we'll do is this. We're going to go ahead and send lying Caroline Levitt, however you pronounce her name. She wears a cross. The cross doesn't fool me. The blonde hair, it doesn't fool me. The dress, it doesn't fool me, all right? Because I'm saved, sanctified, and full of the Holy Spirit, right? And so it doesn't bother me. I know a demon in disguise when I see it. And Caroline, you're a demon in disguise, and there's no amount of makeup can cover up that. Just like no amount of makeup can cover up that cursed hand that Donald Trump has. Actually, it's two. Let's go ahead and send lying Caroline, ladies and gentlemen, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W, sis. This came out the other day, and I just wanted to remind everyone again, it's Governor Gavin Newsom, and this is a serious statement, and we got to address it because it's true. And so he's saying that Trump doesn't want another election, all right? And he's giving us all the answers to why Donald Trump doesn't want another election. And he's not going to leave the White House. We know it, but we're going to help him get out.
I don't think Donald Trump wants another election. I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
And you think he's going to run again?
No, who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves the house? This is serious, guys. This is serious.
So it'll be Newsom Trump in 28.
No, this guy doesn't believe in free, fair elections. He tried to wreck this country. Were you there, January 6th?
Yep.
I mean, he tried to light democracy on fire. He dialed for 11, almost 12,000 votes. Now he's doing it in plain sight.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, it's just Trump being Trump.
It's Trump.
You will lose your country.
Yeah.
Again, it's not about Democrats. It's about all of us.
Yeah.
You're absolutely convinced he's
I'm absolutely convinced.
2028.
You've seen it. He tried to steal the last election. He's trying to rig it in plain sight. I'm on the other side of giving a damn about people's feelings about this moment. I will express myself more clearly and more concisely.
Thank you.
Because I see the threats in very vivid terms in ways I never saw before.
Thank you.
And I see the consequences of not just those threats from the administration, but the actions of this administration.
Amen.
More perhaps than any other governor in the United States, because I see the damage firsthand to communities, this economy, our reputation, to our allies, the world we're trying to build. This is simply the most destructive and damaging individual in my lifetime that happens to be the President of the United States. I have to meet this moment. And so, this has been very clarifying. It's been very sobering.
So that's a W, Governor Gavin Newsom. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, our democracy is truly being threatened by Donald Trump and his legion of MAGA demons, who we all know are the most unpatriotic people we've ever seen in our lifetime. And there's really no other option for us other than, you know what, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and send them straight to hell. Get them out of here.
silence, you MAGA demon.
Let's go ahead and listen to I've Had It. And it's just a quick update about how Donald Trump is just such a terrible person. He's not polling that well, and everyone knows that his poll numbers are crashing down. All right. And this is just another amazing. I love these takedowns because it shows that it's not just me out here saying this. This is the consensus, not just in the United States of America, but honestly, all over the world. All over the world. Everybody knows Donald Trump is a joke, but he's dangerous too. But his administration, they're the most incompetent people trying to seem like they know what the heck they're talking about. They have no clue what they're doing. Russia is eating our lunch. You see what they're doing to Ukraine. How do you think you're getting a Nobel Peace Prize when the countries you're talking about you've ended these wars in, they're not even talking to you. They're not even listening to you. As a matter of fact, you're making everything worse. I tell you, this is some sick stuff that unfortunately MAGA has gotten this country in, and it'll take all of us brave people, especially you, to help get us out.
It's number one, the Cankles. Kanks has a muffin top Cankle.
Oh.
If you're curious as to why the fascism is ramping up, I think there are several reasons. Number one, the Cankles. Kanks has a muffin top Cankle. I mean, fluid out the wazoo, dementia out the wazoo, rage tweeting about late night comedians at 2 a.m. when he's the president of the United States, militarizing cities, attacking everybody and anybody that he can, having 3-hour, oh my God, you're so great, circle jerks in the West Wing. The reason he's doing all of this is because he's wildly unpopular. So they ramp up the propaganda, they ramp up the fascism, because here is the nut cutting right here, you guys. Let me show you how underwater Kanks is. Inflation and prices, he's at minus 27. He's at minus 20 on the environment. He's at minus 18 on abortion. He's at minus 15 on jobs and the economy. And you may remember, according to all the exit polls, that's the narrative that everybody says he won. He's at minus 13 on education. He's at minus 4 on immigration. That's his bedrock thing that he has been all about for well over a decade now. And here we go. Hispanic Trump approval is at minus 28. And the 18 to 29-year-olds Trump approval is at minus 37. This is why they're trying to cheat. This is why he doesn't legislate anything. This is why he has show and tell in the Oval. This is why he's militarizing the cities. This is why everybody is constantly, all day, every day, look at our reality show, look at Kanks, you're so great. They're doing all of this because their only choice is propaganda and authoritarian plays.
It would be so interesting if these people knew how much money that the Department of Homeland Security and ICE are spending.
How much are they?
To lock people up, like this alligator Alcatraz, $250 million. It's going to be closed by the end of the month. I mean, we're at the end of the month.
Well, because they got under his
is up.
So what we can hear, and this isn't me, but these ladies, they're awesome. Credible. Their information is more accurate than what comes out of the Trump administration. We have seen Donald Trump and his administration do so many stunts that waste taxpayers' money. Remember the staged event when they started talking about the Epstein files? Then all of a sudden, Pam Bondi says, "We've found MS-13 people in Virginia." And they did this whole press thing. And then they quietly they retracted that. It was all a ruse. Remember when they were sending immigrants to, what was that? What is that one spot where they, what's that one base that they had to shut down? You know what I'm talking about, all right? It'll come back to me. And the same thing with alligator Alcatraz. They do all of these stunts. Oh, Guantanamo Bay. Yes, they sent them to Guantanamo Bay, and then they wasted all the money, and then they backtracked it and brought them back to the United States. Millions and millions of dollars. The same thing with alligator Alcatraz. Millions and millions of dollars. All of these stunts. The same thing with the IRS. We're going to fire a bunch of IRS people, and then, you know what they do? They quietly bring them back because they need the IRS agents to help do the things that were in the big, beautiful bill. And his supporters are seeing this. And so I'm just going to say this. I do honestly understand, and I believe it, and I know it to be true. Donald Trump's poll numbers are so low right now that the Republican Party, what's left of it, not the real Republicans, I'm talking about MAGA, They are panicking right now, and they're just praying that when this is all done, Donald Trump gives them a pardon, because that will be the only thing that they can look forward to. Outside of that, these folks, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? You know what's going to happen to them? They're prime candidates for what? You know, you've guessed it. Hell, let's go ahead and send them there.
Silence, you macadamia.
I mean, and this is just, to me, it's so sad that we live in a country, ladies and gentlemen, where this is honestly, this is the norm. This is what they say is the norm. Now, my last thing is this. Number one, I wanted to get this on the record, all right? And this goes with the Epstein files. This comes straight from our good friends at the Midas Touch. Michael Wolff is giving us an update on what may be in those files, and we're going to go through this together because we're not going to let this go. Congress starts again September 2nd, and we want to make sure that they understand we're not letting go of the Epstein files, all right?
And he's been asking.
First, let me play you what Michael Wolff says here. Let's play it.
Trump has been making phone calls this weekend, and he's been asking people the following question: what should I do about Maxwell?
Oh.
Now, that means he actually knows certainly what he wants to do about Maxwell, and he may know the decision he's made about what to do with Maxwell. And that is, of course, to pardon her.
Oh.
But now let me just
He's going to
recap a
pardon
moment.
her.
So the Wall Street Journal ran a letter that Donald Trump had written to Jeffrey Epstein in 1993 on the occasion of his 50th birthday.
Right.
Within the White House, the assumption is that that was leaked by the Maxwell camp, by her lawyers or her family. And there was great panic in the White House, and immediately Trump sent the number 2 in the Justice Department, Todd Blanche, his personal attorney, down to the prison in Florida where Ghislaine Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence. So the number 2 in the Justice Department goes down to have a discussion with a convicted felon and sex offender. The transcript of that interview is published over the weekend. What it says is the following. Ghislaine Maxwell says Donald Trump is a wonderful guy. Fantastic.
Wow.
She never saw him do anything bad to anyone. Never anything inappropriate. Perfect gentleman. And then the next thing she says is that birthday letter, that birthday card that Donald Trump, that the Wall Street Journal says Donald Trump has written.
Yeah.
She never saw it. She was in charge of the birthday book, but she didn't see this card.
How many people out there believe she organized the card? She put all the names and the people that wrote letters. She put the book together, and here we are hearing Donald Trump basically dangling a pardon in front of the person that did that because they delivered on the goods the way that the president wanted. So this is some sick stuff, MAGA. And this is why I say you're not pro-life. You're pro-P3DO.
The third thing, it really just jumps out at you, is how obsequious Todd Blanche, the number 2 in the Justice Department, is to Ghislaine Maxwell, the convicted sex offender. He's bending over backwards. It's like a tea party.
Wow.
So again, in Trump world, things are exactly what they seem. And what they seem here, of course, is that Ghislaine Maxwell has done what she has to do to earn a pardon from Donald Trump. I think it's worth explaining the pardon process in the Trump White House. And that begins with the circumstance, the rather peculiar circumstance, that Donald Trump is very sympathetic to criminals, or a certain kind of criminals.
Interesting.
wealthy criminals.
Interesting. See,
criminals that have
S-traffickers.
the power, the money, the power, the influence, and the reach to get his attention. If you can pay the people around Donald Trump to go to Donald Trump and say this person deserves a pardon, then in some sense, you're then part of the Trump family.
So the Trump family is nothing but a bunch of criminals, rich, wealthy criminals. Again, MAGA, I just don't get why you're not outraged. Where is your spine? Where are your morals? Where are your values? Because right now they're out here saying, "Oh, the Democrats are the devil." This is what MAGA is saying. The Democrats are the devil, while they're living in the states that, you know, like blue states like New York, California, and stuff like that. They're living in blue states, surviving, living the good life under Democrat rule, but the Democrats are the devil. Well, what does that make you?
This past weekend over Ghislaine Maxwell's pardon. Here, play this clip.
What's actually in the Epstein files,
Now this is good.
portions of which are now being released to Congress. This is my surmise about what the government holds. First, there are the depositions taken from the many accusers of Jeffrey Epstein. Then there are the FBI's separate interviews with some of the accusers and an assessment of their credibility, which might not be pleasing to the MAGA people.
Of course it would.
Then there's the DOJ's internal discussions of why they took the unprecedented step in 2019 of breaking their 2007 non-prosecution agreement with Epstein.
Yeah.
And potentially who brought pressure on whom to make this happen, and to whose advantage this might, again, unprecedented act might have been. Then there's the investigation of the death, which I suspect was cursory. Then there are his emails, which will connect perhaps hundreds of new people to the list of people with which Epstein was acquainted, including many people in the first Trump administration, many Trump friends, and quite likely they contain new details about Epstein's relationship with Trump.
See, that's starting to make a lot of sense. We need to see the Epstein emails. Isn't it interesting? Russia, if you're listening, give me Hillary emails. No, it should have been, Russia, why don't you release the emails you have on Donald Trump and Epstein and Trump's friends? Now you're starting to see, MAGA, what your dear leader's covering for himself and his friends. Yeah. Because if he wasn't doing that, then he should do the right thing and just release the files.
Then the hard drive. And here we might likely find financial information that will alarm, worry, possibly destabilize many regimes abroad. In other words, much of what is in these files will reflect badly on everyone, keeping this scandal going for many years. Therefore, what we will likely see is only versions of what we have seen before. And the secrets, the true secrets, will remain hidden for some time to come.
Sick. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to know you already know what this is. This is a huge cover-up. And it's Donald Trump covering up his dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, as well as those of his friends who are also part of this. And a lot of these Trump supporters, they like to say, oh, no, Donald Trump is the reason Epstein got caught. Give me a break. He's only trying to silence Epstein because Epstein was going to rat on him, too. And you know how this game goes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm it up and send these Trump supporters who don't care about the Epstein files. I see Gregory in the chat. Oh, it's a nothing burger. Yeah, right, Gregory. Tell that to the survivors. Tell that to the victims, you liar. Let's go ahead and send them straight to hell. Get him out of here.
Silence, you MAGA.
W. Zeus. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, look at the time. All right, let's go to the audience and let's have some meaningful discussions. If anyone's brave enough to get up here and tell the truth and shame the devil, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. I'd like to start it out with, first of all, do we have anybody out there that still supports Donald Trump? Despite the fact that he's losing support. I mean, he is losing so much support. I could play so many clips of just Trump supporter after Trump supporter crying because they're realizing Donald Trump isn't doing anything. And I do mean this. He isn't doing anything for them. But if you have a success story, Gregory, or I would say Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, but I've dealt with you enough this week. Your life is just, to me, is not even entertaining. It's sad, to be quite honest. It's tragic. I want to talk to the people out there who still think Donald Trump is doing a great job. All right, let's see. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll give him a little bit of time. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up and we'll straighten you out. Look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'm totally obliterating them. And it's so easy to do. All you got to do is just ask them a series of questions, yes or no, and then the conversation is over. All right, so let's see. Look at that. You see that, Maddie? Yeah. His approval numbers are in the toilet, right? And I'm a pretty fair host. I'm a pretty fair host. I will go into the conversation, even though I probably shouldn't go. I'll go that deep into it just to see if you'll at least wake up and go, okay, this is crazy what I'm talking about. This is crazy. But 9 times out of 10, they never do it. They sit there and they want to go ahead and talk about Joe Biden. They want to talk about Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, and none of that stuff works with me. All right. So put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. His approval numbers are in the toilet. All right. We'll move on to the next group. Is there anyone out there? Is there anyone out there that voted for Donald Trump and they regret their vote? Is anyone out there that voted for Donald Trump and you're now regretting your vote? And you're starting to come back around and, you've ran into Big Zeus months ago. And then you go, oh, I'm starting to realize that as funny and entertaining as Zeus was, he was right. Where are those people at? Because, I regret their vote, Shay. You regret their vote. I get it. I totally get it. Let's go. All right. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we have next? All right. Let's see. All right. Put a 1 in the chat. Yeah, Zeus was right about everything. You see? All right. Then, all right. Let's go to, we got a nice guest. Good morning, Dead Stroke. What do you got for us this morning?
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How can I help you?
Yeah. Well, I didn't put 1 in there, right?
Yeah, I do. But you're the only one there, so we'll talk. How's it going?
All right. Good. Hey, the other day I was listening to you on one of those lives at night.
Okay.
Those women were coming after you, buddy. They were going for it.
Yeah.
But they actually asked you the silliest questions. They asked you, so why didn't Kamala release the Epstein files? You remember when they said that?
Yeah. And they asked about why didn't Obama released it.
Here's what they don't understand. Because they all think for some reason, because this criminal gets in there and he puts his loyalists in charge of the DOJ. He does it because he, of course, just like if you're a criminal, you want to buy the police, right?
Yeah.
Obama and Biden didn't have a reason to do that. They were separate. Yeah. They had no control over the Epstein files.
Yeah.
That's what they just listen to what this idiot says. And he planted it in their mind when he was saying that Biden's DOJ was coming after him.
Yeah.
When they were state charges.
Yeah.
So they automatically, and I asked one, I said, do you think that that the DOJ in the presidency is the president control the DOJ. I say, oh, there you go. You can't talk to them.
So you went in there and you had the conversation. Did they bring up the non-prosecution agreement that was struck? Because that was the big reason that the Obama administration, that they respected it, even though it was done corruptly. And that's why earlier this week, and they didn't want to listen to me when I said it, I said, you need to get Alex Acosta and all the way up to Mike Mukasey and even President George Bush. Somebody greenlit that non-prosecution agreement that he got at the FBI level, and that was before Obama. So if you really wanted the answer, you would have known it. But they didn't care about that. They're just so hell-bent on not.
You couldn't hear them. You couldn't hear you talk because they kept talking over you.
Well, because they don't want to hear the truth.
Question. Answer the question.
Could you imagine, Deadstroke, what they would have to do? And this is really what keeps MAGA doing what they're doing. What would they have to do the moment they accepted the truth about everything going on? What would they have to do?
Oh, they would have to prove. They would have to say that their cult is incorrect, and that's another thing about that. And they keep saying, "Well, Democrats are in a cult." How?
No.
You have to have a leader to be in a cult. Where is the Democrats' leader? And I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a critical thinker.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I'm just always going on the side of the Democrats.
I mean, you tend to be if you're a critical thinker, you tend to vote where the facts are, and it just happens right now. The facts tend to be aligned with the Democrat Party, right? And you're right. There's no real leader, and even amongst ourselves, we always find a way to kind of not like each other for whatever the issue is. But I would argue when it comes to loving the country, the Democrats love the country more than the Republican parties.
So bewildering, my friend. Yeah. So bewildering. But I'll drop back down. I just wanted to say that because I heard it, and I just wanted to jump in while you were on there because they were like attacking. It was like 4 against 1. I don't know why you. Well, I give you your props, brother. I don't know why you do it. You actually do it just like you are a Zeus.
Yeah, thank you, Deadstroke. Thank you. See, and I didn't pay you, and I didn't tell you to come up here and say that. You did that on your own,
right?
You
did not. You did not. All right,
thank you. I appreciate it.
And follow me because you said you were going to follow me the last time.
Well,
I can know when you're on.
Oh, okay. I guess that's the way they do it. Okay, I followed you. I got too many people I follow, and then there's a quota.
Fair enough.
It is what it
All
is.
Right, my brother.
Deadstroke, Deadstroke. And Deadstroke brings up a good point, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. If you have to imagine the difficulties that MAGA will have to go through once they accept truth. It's going to be very, very painful if they can do it. That means they will have to unpack decades of lies that they've told themselves, told their relatives, their families, their friends. They're going to have to revisit all those relationships that have been destroyed as a result of their blind allegiance to Donald Trump. And that's what we're dealing with. That's the difficulty that we're seeing on this app. That's the hypocrisy. They can't bring themselves to doing it, right? And the reason that I say things the way that I say them, because I want to be as, respectful and as politically correct as possible. But I'm an experienced person with this stuff. I have done things like this where it was very difficult for me to be like, oh, okay, you're right, I'm wrong, right? And I know what it takes to get over that hill, so to speak. It really does take a lot of self-reflection. It takes a good network of people to help you get over that hump, all right? And this is what's going on, MAGA. You have decades of lies, misinformation, and disinformation to get through. And when you talk to them, it's layered with misogyny. I mean, am I lying? It's layered with misogyny. It's layered with hatred towards different communities. It's layered with racism. All of these things are baked into this MAGA belief system, and they just can't seem to get their minds to understand Donald Trump is a criminal. Those charges that he was indicted for, those weren't made up. Because if you sat back and you thought about it, do you know how hard it is to plant evidence on the president of the United States of America, MAGA, you would have to be almost like an undetected ninja. You would have, and then you got to coordinate with everybody who's good at keeping a secret. And you're in the information age. Nothing can go without being figured out and detected. Now, the best you got is you've gone all the way back into the Obama administration to find a couple of emails that suggests something remotely related to one of your conspiracies, and that's enough to get you going. I mean, instead of just doing the work, and honestly, MAGA, learning how to admit that you've made a terrible mistake in life. When are you going to grow up? When are you going to realize that Donald Trump is duping you? Name one thing you have in common, MAGA. Name one thing you have in common with Donald Trump. Can you name one thing, MAGA, that you have in common with Donald Trump? Because you're cheering for this man so hard. But what do you have in common with him? Look at the chat. The chat goes quiet. Yeah, exactly. Oh, racism, diapers. Yeah, ignorance. Yeah. Stupidity, the files. Yeah, SAers, racism, corruption. You see what the chat is saying? You have nothing in common with him other than that nasty behavior. Sick stuff, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go on to the next guest, ladies and gentlemen. What a great show. Wild Card, good morning.
Hey, Zeus, how are you?
I'm doing all right. What about you?
I'm doing okay. I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking, do people actually have common sense anymore these days? Because if you take yourself apart from being a MAGA or a Republican or a liberal or an individual or whatever, if you take yourself out of that box and you just look at our country as a whole and as just a person on the outside looking in, and you start to use your common sense and you say, let's see, all the people that were working our fields are gone or incarcerated. So the fields are sitting empty with nothing for us to eat. And then the shipments coming into the port, I don't know who's over there turning those around. But, you know, it's showing me over time that we're getting less and less. And now China is having that big meeting with all the countries, which is going to say, hey, you know, America doesn't want to be part of us.
Yeah.
They want to tariff us to death. They want to, you know, we're the odd man out. We're sitting out there now because of Trump with nothing coming in to help this country. And MAGA and Republicans, you live in this country too.
Yeah.
So as he dismantles our food preparation, our food intake and sending over to us, everything that's happening looks pretty grim to me if I was to use my common sense and say, God, you know, it looks like Trump is dismantling us. And when these people cannot afford a loaf of bread, they might say, Jesus, God, that girl was right, because things are going to go up so much.
Yeah.
And they will not be able to afford it. So everybody going to be out there stealing and hunting.
Crime
and doing
going
whatever
up.
they can. Absolutely. The crime will go up. And if you live on the same planet I do, then you're just as much risk as anybody else. And it doesn't matter who you are, what religion you are, what color you are, what race you are. It does not matter. You are involved, whether you want to be or not. And you can sugarcoat it all day and say, my daddy, my Trump daddy, he's the one that's going to protect me. And you put your little red hat on like it's a cape from a Superman movie. And it's not going to stop any pew-pews from hitting your ass.
True.
Let me tell you, it's not going to stop a pew-pew. Trump invoked hate amongst each other.
Yeah.
He has made everybody know that this one's the enemy, that one's the enemy, that one's the enemy. Before him, we did not have fake news. We did not have enemies. We even had allies.
Yeah.
You know, and now where are we at? We're sitting on an empty string at the end of a rope.
Yeah.
And we waiting for him to save us? Are you kidding me? What kind of people, except ones that don't have common sense, would realize that they can see the future? Sometimes you got to look at two kids playing with toys and one takes all the toys and makes the other one cry. You can see that coming, can't you?
Yeah.
That the bigger kid is going to start stealing the toys. These people can't seem to think outside the box. And this is what drives me crazy, is that they cannot see the future at all because they choose not to see it. But they are feeling it. They're feeling the electrical prices. My prices went up quite a bit, guys.
Oh, they didn't
and I'm
go
sure
down?
they're like, oh, hell no. They've been going up and going up and going up. Now, if this stuff keep happening to all of us, then when's it going to go back down? It probably never will.
Never.
But these people are all like such haters that they're okay with that. Like, let my bill go up until they turn my power off, man, because I know those people are in those cages. I mean, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Did LGBT jump into your cereal bowl in the morning and scare you? I mean, you think the Fruit Loops or whatever you want to say,
Yeah.
they ain't bothering you. Nobody's bothering you.
Yeah, but they're fragile. Their egos, they can't stand the fact that somebody is challenging them. You know what I mean? And when you are a person like that, and I used to be this way, you're a danger to yourself, and you're definitely a danger to the community that you're in. And so what I appreciate, Wild Card, is you're not afraid to actually say this stuff, because I say it until I'm, proverbially blue in the face, so to speak. But it's true. Have they gotten anything from Donald Trump, do you think, since he's gotten into office?
I can't really say anything that they got. One thing, I can't say that they got a tax break. I can't say they got any food cards. I can't, in fact, just the opposite. It seemed like everything's going away from the Trumpers. They did. They got my husband. You know what? My husband just said they got one thing. He said they got screwed.
Oh, W to Wild Card, W to your husband. He's right.
Yeah, they got screwed. I mean, I'm just waiting for them to take their fingerprints off their ankles from bending over and taking it.
Wow, W Wild Card. Yeah.
So what do you think what's going on with the countries all meeting up? Don't they realize that all these countries are getting together and they are not going to include us in crap because Trump decided to make us their enemy?
Yeah. Japan's not returning their calls. India's not returning their calls. They're just going, oh, yeah, we'll be there. And then they're not listening to him. And then I hear Zelensky got on him yesterday because Ukraine just had one of the worst attacks ever since this thing broke out. And he's like, sir, as you can see, you've met with this guy and the exact opposite is happening. So why should we even continue to entertain you? Right?
Yeah, I agree. Every time they say they want to have a world peace meeting with Zelensky, he needs to stay out of there because they're just setting him up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them to try to unalive him.
Yeah.
We know that Michael Cohen came on this live many times.
Yeah, he did.
He said that they are not going to stop until they get what they want. They will keep fighting until Russia takes over Ukraine. And, and Trump is all for it, apparently, because he's not doing crap. He acts like he's going over there saying, oh, yeah, we got to stop. But, deep down, he's a power hungry man. He wants to take over Canada and get their precious minerals. He wants to take over Greenland and take their minerals. So, for all you MAGA guys, if you have food in your cabinets and shit, when I run a little low.
I caught that. Okay. Gotta keep it clean.
Sorry, I said, can I come into their house and just take their food and stuff because I'm going to act like Trump taking over Canada. I want to bust in and take everything that they got. They say it's okay. So if they agree that it's okay for us to do Canada, then let me come to your house and take you of all your whatever you got.
Exactly. And I guarantee you, the moment you tried to do it, they would cry. They would cry like a bunch of snowflakes because that's what they really are. All right.
Yeah. But thanks for letting me up. I had to get that off my chest, and I'm glad you do. And I love you. I just want to say that.
All right. I love you as well. All right. In the respectful way. All right. I don't want nothing to jump off over here. All right. Thank you so much. W in the chat for Wild Card. Yeah. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of lovely people who are willing to actually come up here and just show us all how much they truly, truly love their country. All right, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Dr. Lex. Welcome. Long time no see. Well, I've seen you coming in and out. But what's going on?
Yeah, these people in Tennessee are catching it.
Go ahead, speak on it.
So you get to see. I live right on the lake, right? I live right on the water. Mm-hmm. I've noticed the uptick in the hillbillies coming down the road down there and standing on the bank and fishing.
Yeah.
Because they can't buy their food at home. I mean, you know what? Like I said, critter lives matter because they're going to be eating possums and squirrels again because their benefits have been cut off.
Yeah. They're starting to feel it.
Yeah, the free lunch, they're starting to selectively take that away. what I find wild and crazy is some of these people still think that he's going to do something for them, and he's robbing the country. We've been isolated. We've isolated ourselves. I mean, it's the same situation before World War II. We were isolated, and it got out of control. But see, now we're the people that are the effectors of the activity that created World War II.
Yeah.
Because he's out here. Where's Darwin?
Who? Charles Darwin?
Yeah. Well, no, Darwin. You know the term Darwin. Let Darwin take its course.
Oh, okay. Well, I get what you're saying.
The whole thing is these people. I tell them when I see them in grocery stores and places, and they're in the discount section looking at the green meat, and they're counting their change to see if they could buy that hamburger that's now $12 a pound.
That's affordable.
But they get it,
Isn't that
they
affordable?
get it for 75% off if it's green. And they're still, got their MAGA shirts and their hats, and they're just eternally and totally losing everything right now. The farms. See, I live around a whole bunch of tomato farms.
Uh-huh.
I can drive out here on the river and see all the farms, and there's a lot of tomatoes on the ground. And there's not people out there picking those tomatoes because they're all gone. They left.
Mm.
You don't
believe in the ultimate sacrifice? Because that's the thing. If you just sacrifice all you have for Donald Trump, eventually your cup will runneth over. You don't subscribe to that.
Well, the thing is I have realized, I have a garden. You see my yard. I have a garden, and I can and store, and I'm very selective in how I spend money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really eat a lot of red meat anyway. I like to trout fish as a hobby, so I can get fish that way if I want it. But the thing is these people, they have no. It's the industrial. The factories here are closing because of the tariffs. The tomato farms aren't producing anything. The farmers aren't. They're having to sell their stuff for pennies. They're having to pick it themselves, or they're saying, "Hey, we'll sell it to you per pound. You can come pick it yourself."
Yeah.
You look at the produce section in the store, and it looks like you got an apple and about 5 grapes. A head of lettuce. And these people here, I live in Eastern Tennessee, in rural Eastern Tennessee, in the lower Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah.
People here aren't rich, never have been.
Yeah.
And they're not happy either. A lot of the hillbillies aren't happy with Donald Trump. And hillbillies, when you get them angry, it goes bad. Because I was at the gas station and I was talking to this lady, and she said, "He lied to me."
Yeah.
And I was like, they cut my grandkids. My grandkids got free lunch. I got to pay for lunch. I've got 5 kids. It's $3 a kid.
Do we care? She voted for Trump though, right?
Yeah. She goes, I got to pay $65 a week for.
When I hear people like that and they come out of the fog, I just can't help but ask them, how did you overlook all of his flaws? What happened?
Here's the thing.
Was the hatred towards Kamala Harris that bad, where you voted for your own demise? It makes no sense to me. And I thought these people would figure it out, but at this point, that's why I say none of them were going to be around midterms. I really do think Donald Trump is going to destroy these people himself.
Oh yeah, he's doing it. And something, I'm having a little fun too, because on the backside of my property, I have a lot of deer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So deer hunting season is coming on, right? So I've went and bought, almost 200 pounds of apple corn. Okay, so apple corn is it comes in these 50-pound bags, right?
Yeah.
And it's apple flavored corn, and it draws deer in like magnets. So this morning, my property, you cannot hunt on my property. You cannot. Period. So I've created an area in the middle of my property, and I have attracted almost every single buck and deer on the ridge into my property. They're all down there, and they have a safe spot.
Yeah.
Where they can come into, and it's a circle, and they were in there. They were in the back there this morning. I saw 7 of them.
Really?
So now I'm going to keep that apple corn out there for the entire winter until the deer season ends, to keep these people from hunting. So I'm going to spend good money to feed these. I'm going to keep that source of food away from here.
That's mighty generous of you, Dr. Lex. Oh my gosh. Cutie,
because that's the
thank
next
you.
thing they'll go after.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's I'm gonna draw them in. They were out there. I've been feeding them all summer, getting them, where they know that they have a source of food.
Right.
And now they won't go over on the other side where it's Tennessee TWRA property where they can be
Yeah.
hunted.
Yeah.
So these people aren't going to be able to get those deer because they're going to be fat and happy over here in my briars.
Yeah. So they'll starve, right? As long as they're starving and suffering, you know what? It is what it is, Dr. Lex. And this is what we need more of. More of you taking care of the deer and not MAGA. All right? Seriously.
Well, I'll say this and I'll go. I'm going to go and buy some chewing gum so they can taste something all day and still be hungry.
That's a good one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, W's in the chat for Dr. Lex. No lies detected. And yes, feed the deer. All right, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. You see, it's just so awesome when you have people like Dr. Lex coming up here and just showing how much they love the country. They're taking care of the animals, but then at the same time, openly rebuking the MAGA demon in its form, all right? Because we're not going to sit back and surrender this great country of ours. CX, this guy, CX, what's your issue with Big Zeus? CX, what's your issue? You come onto my show. I don't know who's worse, you or Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. But if you don't, do I need to play it?
If you're not happy here,
Do I have to play it?
then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the
Lady
time,
Boss!
very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Thank you.
Come back if you want.
Yeah.
Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Yeah, WW Lady Boss, all right, and W Zeus. And then now you have Junior in here, and we all know, ladies and gentlemen, we all know who Junior is. They are a part of the group on the right, but they always come in on their backup account and try to get some sort of love from Big Zeus, and it's not going to work. I'm not interested in you, all right? And you could go tell that to the rest of your friends, Junior, all right? Come back in under your main, right, Ange? We know who Junior is, and they think we don't, but we can tell by the way they write and type. We know who you are, and I don't want to out you, but I will if you continue what you're doing, all right? And you're not going to like it, all right? Because, we know everything about a lot of these people. We monitor them. They think they monitor us, but we are actually monitoring them, all right? So that's another W to all of you in the chat. Keep the pressure on these hypocrites. Keep the pressure on these liars. Because one thing we know about these folks is they don't care about the stuff they yell at us about. Oh, do you care about America? No, you don't. Do you care about the children? No, you don't. Do you care about feeding the needy? No, you don't. You're just a bunch of hateful people. And in due time you will be judged. Yes, W's in the chat for Sneaky Fingers. All right, who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning, SZ. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Zoo. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. Did you by any chance read a CBS article about what was transpiring in DC and how that CBS did a analysis on whether or not the National Guard did any benefit to preventing crime in DC?
No, I haven't. I haven't read this. When did this come out? You said CBS article, huh?
On the 27th, and it stayed, and of course they're being neutral. They're trying to capitulate because they felt a need to down Trump. But they said that prior to everything that was going on, that DC was already going in a downward trajectory towards crime, even before the National Guard came in.
Correct.
So, in all essence, the events of the National Guards did nothing. They're out there collecting garbage. And already we're spending our tax dollars every day, our tax dollars.
Yeah.
For what? Them picking up garbage? And again, he is
landscaping. Wow. It bothers me because they love to say they're the party of less government, but what's the biggest way to prove you're lying when you say I'm the party of less government? having a bunch of tanks in everyone's neighborhood, doesn't that kind of just, well, that looks like less government. You know what I mean?
It is not less government. They're spending so much, and for what? A squeaky tank on his on that anniversary for
Mm-hmm.
him? Get out of here. And
Yeah.
mind you, he's just taking credit of what he says that, we dropped crime. He even had to disregard because prior to that, Metropolitan Police, with that article and their data, he had to deny it, just like he denied the labor statistics.
Yeah.
So MAGA, just numbers mean a lot. Numbers,
Yeah.
statistics means a lot.
Yeah.
So if you want to go ahead and disprove us, bring your sources because we have numbers.
Yeah.
And another question: why are you after Chicago? Why are you after my home state of Illinois?
Thank you.
Just because it's a blue state and a blue city? How about this? Ask the question: why aren't the red governors in the red states doing anything to prevent their crime? I don't care. The mayor cannot. The mayor can only uphold the city. Who has more power? The governor.
Bingo.
So why are you mad at us when we have a diverse? Hell, we have seasoned food. Our food tastes better.
Because you know what?
We have.
You're right. They cook the rats, in MAGA, and that's sick. That's sick. They eat a bunch of nasty things, and you just go, no wonder your teeth are falling out of your mouth. Seriously.
I mean, we know how to bathe ourselves.
Yeah.
And again,
with
MAGA.
soap. Yeah, I mean, and you got to tell these people that because a lot of them they don't know you should use soap when you take a shower and stuff like that. They just think that they go in there and they get like a glass of water and they go like this and they think that's considered a shower. I've seen them do this. And it's sick. And I go, listen, don't touch my food. Don't even think about it. No, we're not sharing. I mean, because you got to tell these people that's worse than an animal. At least an animal would get in the water. Because I've watched the National Geographic and stuff, Discovery Channel. They actually get in the water.
We still have our teeth. We still have our teeth.
Thank
but
you.
I'm gonna go again.
and that shouldn't even be something we brag about. But that's what it's came down to, SC. Wow.
Exactly. And again, MAGA, and for everyone, do not come up here and say, oh, it's because it's a blue city and it's run by a Democrat mayor. No. Your governors and the state legislators help the cities to help with crime. And they also make the laws. So you really want to go at it, talk to your governor, because 8 out of the 10 top states are red states ran by red governors, and they are considered the high crime areas.
I wonder what's causing all the crime in the red states. What do you think is causing all the crime in these red states? There has to be something going on there that's contributing to all of this. And I just,
Funding.
Oh, poverty.
Funding.
Funding. I thought you were going to say mental health. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Because that's their excuse when they get caught. That's their excuse. Oh, it was having mental health issues. Oh, yeah, right. Give me a break. All right, well, listen.
And the fact... and the fact that he tried, and again, I'm going to go back, the fact that Taco tried to come and say, oh, the black women want me to come with the National Guard. I've gotten calls from black women. Last time I checked, I have not heard any black women that I know begging for that orange Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
And it astounds me because it's just like, it's laughable.
Yeah.
And this is the same individual that came on to Chicago being interviewed and said black jobs.
Yeah. I agree.
And I'm gonna land my plane, but this idiotic cesspool tried to put an EO on cashless bonds. Now, Illinois is the first to initiate the entire hearing process without cash bail bonds.
Okay.
Cash bail bonds affect people who are in marginalized areas, especially Black people and Latino people who, quote unquote, he thinks are poor, which
Yeah.
is a false, but it prevents them from paying. I'm sorry, they have to pay a 10%, and it's also a detriment to their finance system.
Yeah.
So Illinois said, "Screw that. We're going to do away with the system and do a 3-step prong on security and safety and whether or not you are considered a threat to the person or community."
Right.
So they had changed that law. The only states that are that have cashless bonds are Illinois, New Mexico, and New Jersey. New Jersey has a 9-step program. We have a 3-step. Now, a lot of states, especially blue states in New York, have done cash bail bond reformation to help those that are in a financial situation. EO ain't gonna do shit. EO's only for
I
federal
caught
law.
that. I caught that. You gotta keep it clean now.
I'm sorry, Zeus.
Yeah.
EO
You're gonna get
won't
me in
do-
trouble, but I get what you're
I'm sorry.
saying.
Mama Zeus, it's my fault.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
They ain't gonna do jack nothing.
Thank you.
EO is not law. MAGA Queen, you might as well burn in the depths
Of hell.
where you belong.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, listen, SZ, I think we've covered a lot, and I gotta say thank you as always for coming up here and educating the masses. All right. We're gonna move it on, but I have to give you a follow for some strange reason. I wasn't following you. Well,
You
I think
have me follow Mr. Crossing. You have me unfollowed on your secondary accounts.
Oh, well then now you're on the main account. All right, SZ.
I am honored, sir. I'm
honored. It's an honor that you are honored. All right. It's both ways. All right. When you really think about it. All right.
No problem. And again, if you ever need a person who is informed of law enforcement and hates, I won't say hates, is disappointed in his brethren and sisters or in law enforcement who file this tackle, let me know. I would have liked to dig in their brain as well.
All right. Fair enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, W's in the chat for SZ, my brother. Oh, yeah. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. Do we have anybody out there that supports Donald Trump that's willing to get up here and try to defend their cult leader? All right, because, we're cooking and booking this morning. And as you can see, we got so many people out here who are willing to be honest and transparent about a lot of different things. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter. All right, and you want to come on up here and try to make the case for your dear leader. I don't know how you could possibly do it, considering the amount of information and amount of truth that's coming out of this live. All right, let's see. Put a 1 in the chat. Going once, going twice. All right, I guess we're gonna keep the what they call the echo chamber going. All right, let's keep the echo chamber going. All right, good morning to Keisha. Welcome.
Hey, Zeus.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
You doing okay?
I'm doing okay. Did you see where that low down, wig wearing, stanky, tan wearing, wife don't want him, children are ugly, idiot.
Who?
Revoke Kamala Harris Secret Service.
Oh, yeah.
Zeus, why are you so low down?
Mm.
But you sitting up telling me you want to get into heaven. Didn't I tell you he ain't never going?
Yeah.
Why would you? Nobody took you and your ugly children Secret Service when you left office.
Mm.
It was extended.
Yeah.
Why is he so low down?
Right?
And these people keep telling me he a Christian. Come on, Zeus.
Yeah.
The Bible said, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
Hey.
I will repay.
Hey.
Why is it always somebody did something wrong to him when he do wrong every day?
Yeah.
He ain't going to heaven.
Nope.
And heaven ain't coming in.
Go ahead, Takesha.
The
Tell him.
man, I'ma put it on record. The man is going to hell in a handbasket.
Hey, you heard that, MAGA queen? You can get as triggered as you want, but Takesha isn't lying, all right? And I don't care if she is making your day ruined. I don't care.
I wouldn't care if MAGA queen. I feel sorry for you, MAGA queen. Let me say this. I feel really, really sorry for you. If you claim to be a Christian, you don't read your word. That's
Nope.
why you think Trump is okay. That's why you keep running with the name MAGA. Get your own identity.
Yeah.
Why are you a MAGA queen? What is your real name?
Yeah.
You have given up your identity to become Trump's identity. That's what's sad.
Yeah.
A lot of women don't even want to take their husband's last name, but they'll jump up and put MAGA.
Yeah.
Or
Ain't that
Trump
something?
did. Or Trump did. You people are pitiful.
Yeah.
You people are sad.
Yeah.
You people are standing right behind Trump in the hell line
Yeah.
and don't even know it because you're worshiping man rather than worshiping God. Trump is going to hell.
Thank you. Hellbound.
Hell. He will be cast in the lake of fire.
Yeah.
Because his heart is dark and demonic.
Mm.
And y'all following him and y'all think y'all going to heaven. God gonna say, who are you? Depart from me. I never knew you.
That part.
Follow the man you worship.
Amen.
But I think that was so disgusting to revoke that. Zeus is awful. I told y'all it's gonna get worse.
You think so?
Prepare yourself.
I
MAGA
agree.
gonna be running just like the rest of the people gonna be running. Cause they ain't finna get nothing special from the man who ain't thinking about nobody but himself.
That is, I mean, and that's why I do this kind of show, Takesha, because I'm sitting here going, what do they think they're getting from this whole thing of supporting Donald Trump? What are they getting out of this?
I don't know, Zeus, but hell is his portion, and it's gonna be plenty else too.
Hey, man. Hey, you know what it is. Oh, Dame said he want to talk to you. You got a little second for Dame? Go ahead.
Why, Lord have mercy.
I mean, you bring him out, so let's go ahead. He asked politely, so we're gonna try to see if Dame.
What do you want?
Hey, Mr. Keisha, I just got a quick question. Good morning.
Go,
What up?
please,
What up,
Al.
young Zeus?
Go ahead.
Big Zeus, but you could be young. You could be young Dame.
Hey, I got a quick question. So God gonna tell me, depart from me, you worker of iniquity, because I voted for Trump, Mr. Keisha? That's what you're saying?
What, Zeus? What did I say?
He basically said
I
they standing right behind.
Hey, Zeus.
You said they're
Did
standing.
Did I say people that voted or people that worship?
Oh, okay.
You said worship, but
Okay,
we also
thank
had.
you, Zeus.
But let's be fair. Dame worships Donald Trump.
Dame
Right?
don't worship Trump. Dame worship his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I just came in on the end of it. That's why I heard Mr. Keisha say, I just heard Trump and God gonna like turn. But I just wanted to make sure
That's the problem. Y'all don't wait to get clarity, because I would have said it again about worshiping, and then you would have known that every time I talk about a Trump supporter, I don't care nothing about the ones that voted for him. I always say the people that worship him.
Okay. So what is worshiping him?
Putting him above what he is.
Yeah.
Believing what he says.
Making him thinking he's perfect, saying that he was the only one who could save America when we got a savior. That's worshiping. When you take him and put him where God should be, that's worshiping. When you say everybody against him and nothing he's done wrong, that's worshiping, because everybody has done wrong. Thinking he's a perfect person, that's a sin.
You're right.
Idolization of a man, that's a sin. Running around with his name on you and won't even put God on you, taking up for Donald Trump and sitting in a room where people are talking about God and letting them talk about him and say that's on them, that's worship. When you can't say nothing about a man, but you can dog out God and call him Sky Daddy, and you never
Oh
say
yeah,
anything
that's what the
against it,
Democrats.
and
That's what
you
the Democrats do.
never say anything against it, that's worship.
That's worship.
I wouldn't, excuse me, Zeus, let me say one curse word. I wouldn't give a damn if it was Republican or Democrat. When you sit up and let somebody disrespect the Lord, and you always take up for Trump, that's worshiping Trump rather than God. How about that?
Yep, you
Sitting
got.
up agreeing with the wrong things that he does in revenge to another person is worshiping Trump. What else you need to know?
Oh no, you gave me good clarification. I
Oh,
just
okay.
yeah, so I don't worship Trump. So I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't under
No.
that.
Okay.
Dame, I don't even think about you. To be honest, I don't even remember you exist. I don't come to your lives. I don't even pass by your lives, baby. I don't even entertain you, period, point blank.
Okay, well,
So
I'm
I don't
glad.
know if you
I'm
worship Trump.
glad.
I don't know
I'm
if you
glad.
worship Donald Trump or not
I
because
can
you're
tell
such
you
a
he does.
non-entity in my life.
I can tell
Well, I'm glad.
Takesha he do.
I'm glad you exist, even though I
I
feel
didn't.
this,
Hold on.
I feel the same. I
Hold
don't care.
on.
I don't care
I
what you
did not
do.
say.
I don't care what you
Hold
do,
on.
or I don't watch
Hold
your
on.
content either. But I'm
Hold
not going to
on.
be facetious
Hold
like you
on.
are. I am glad you exist. It's
Hold
just that
on.
I haven't ran up on your
The
content.
problem is y'all twist words to make it seem like what you wanted to seem like. I didn't say I didn't. I said you don't exist to me because I don't see you and I don't think about you. I didn't say, you trying to make it seem like I'm saying that I wish you didn't exist.
I didn't say that. I
That's how
didn't
you
say.
tried to put it, Zane.
No, I'm just saying. You
I'm
put
not
it like
stupid.
I didn't say. I didn't say you
Y'all
care that
can
I
play with
exist.
other people that come up on your panel and twist things around and
I
twist
thought you
their
said you don't
words.
watch my panel though.
Sweetie, they talk about you, babe.
Oh, now they talk about me. Make it make sense. All
You know
right,
they
Mr.
talk
Keisha.
about you, Dane.
All
Stop
right,
playing.
well, I mean, I must be doing something right then, because if they ain't talk about you, then you ain't doing crap, right?
Zeus, Zane, that's not always true. It's what they say
Well, I'd rather
about you.
them talking about me than
It's
nobody
what
talking
they
about
say
me.
about you.
Hey, even if it's negative, all publicity is good publicity in my
Okay.
eyes. So even if it's
If
negative, I
if
take it as
that's
a
what you
W.
living your life on for publicity, bless your God-given heart.
No, ma'am. I pass the word of God, and
You no, you just said
I tell black people that.
it.
No, ma'am. I tell black people we need to
I
go
want. I
back to
want.
family
No.
values
No.
and
No.
stop unaliving each other. So if
Okay.
that's against God to you, then I'm against God.
Wait a
Let
second.
me
That's my
explain.
main message
Let me
every
explain
day
something.
on my
Hold on,
live. That's
Dame.
my
Let
You
me
don't
message.
do
explain
that, Dame.
something.
You don't
Let
do
me
that.
explain something to
My
you,
main message is healing the black community. That's why I got
sir.
Democrats coming on my
No.
page
No.
getting
No.
mad,
No,
talking
Dame.
about
And
I'm
guess
talking
what?
about white
Guess
issues. I'm
what?
talking about black issues in front of
Guess
white people.
what? And when you get to heaven,
What?
God ain't gonna care nothing about what you did for no black community.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
No,
he
he
is.
not.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
God said you saved one life, the whole heaven rejoice. That's
Okay,
blasphemy.
one
Yeah,
life
he
don't mean
did.
a
Yeah, he
Where you
black
did.
say
life.
that at?
He
One
said it in the
life don't
Bible.
mean a
One,
Where?
black
you
Give
life.
me
saved
Bible
one
chapter and
soul.
verse.
You
Give me
saved
Bible
one soul,
chapter
and
and
I'm
verse.
working on one soul. Her name is Alyssa, and she's a Satanist. She literally worships Satan.
She ain't
So
even
if I
here.
get Alyssa to turn to God, the whole heavens will rejoice. So I
She's not
rebuke
even.
what you saying, I rebuke what you saying,
Zeus,
Mr. Keisha.
Zeus, is that the same thing?
No. This
Is
brother.
saving a
You said
soul.
God wouldn't
Hold
care what I
on.
do for the black
Hold
He.
community.
on.
He. He
So if
Is
I
said
help
saving
somebody
a
in the black
is
community come
saving
to the
a
Lord,
soul.
no.
Is
oh my
save
Lord, these
because you don't have
Democrats.
the power to save a soul. Let's just
That's
say that.
that
You
part.
plant, sir, you plant the seed. God does the watering,
This is
and
Well,
God
demonic.
I
does
plant
the
the seeds
saving.
on my lives.
Let
That's what
me
I
say
do.
this
W.
to you.
Oh
Yeah,
my
well, I
God.
Saving
plant.
a soul and telling a black person to stop killing is not the same thing.
Thank you. And
Well,
so,
I plant that seed and let them know about eternal damnation and
Sir,
holding their own
so
community accountable
hold
do you
for
on.
it.
go to the white
Jesus
community and
Christ.
do that?
I'm not in the white community.
God
So
said he has
if I
no
do fix
respect.
the white community,
God said
what
he
does
has
that
no
do for
respect
me?
to
Hold on,
person.
time out. If
Why
I
it got
fix
to
the
be
white
just toward
community,
the
Mr.
black
Keisha,
community?
if I
Can
do fix the white community, what does that do for me in the
It's the
black
only
community?
wait a
it's
second.
only killing going on in the black community.
I'm in the black community, so I
I'm
don't give a
asking a
shit what goes on.
question.
Oh,
I'm sorry, my bad, Zeus. My
I
bad,
see.
Zeus.
See. The devil's
My
getting
bad, my bad,
busy.
my
The
bad.
devil.
I'm
I'm
in the
asking a
black community,
question.
so I don't care what
I'm
goes on in
asking
other
a
communities.
question.
Ladies and gentlemen, bear with
I'm
me.
asking a question.
Hold on. I'm trying to facilitate this, but then obviously I can't just sit here, and we got to keep moving it on. But Dame, could you please answer Takesha's question?
Go
All
ahead.
right, because
What's
we're
your
not
question?
getting anywhere in terms of real substance. All right.
Yeah. What's your question, Mr. Keisha?
Okay, this my question right here. And let me break this down with the question. The Bible said God has no respect to person. Okay? That means he don't love blacks no more than he love whites. He don't love whites no more than he love Chinese. Because he didn't die for black. He died for the entire world. That's what the Bible says. So with you just concerned about black people, that don't represent God. There's killing that go on in white communities. But guess what? You ain't over there railing. So if you just separated by your race, you have already been lost.
Thank you.
When it comes to the Lord. Because he said, love ye one another. He didn't say love ye the ones in your community.
Thank you.
He said
My
love ye
community,
one another.
my community is the one with the high crime violence. So that's what I'm
Baby,
attacking
that
first.
ain't got
I'm
you
priority.
think the
I'm
Lord care about
priority
that?
driven.
Why
You
are
think
you
the Lord
so?
gonna give you some brownie
Listen,
points for that?
what's high priority to
Can
me?
I
Is
ask
the
Dame a
Lord gonna give you
question?
some brownie points for
I
that?
want to ask Dame a question. Why are you? Why are
I lost
you?
10 of my best friends to violence, and it wasn't from a white man. It
Okay.
wasn't from a police. And
Okay.
I gotta call their mamas, and
Oh.
I gotta be their mama's son for the rest of their
Yeah, I
life.
know
So
you
I'm
do.
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry that
Yeah.
didn't
Hold
happen
on.
from a
Hold on.
triple
Hold
A,
on.
from a
Hold on.
police. It happened from a brother that looked just like me and Zeus.
Yeah.
So that's what my energy is on.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
if
Okay.
whoever don't like it,
Yeah.
just don't gotta come in my
But
life. It's that
but
simple.
Yeah.
Dame. I want to say this. Have you understood the legacy of slavery and the impact it's had on our community?
You don't
Because
care.
this stuff doesn't just happen in a vacuum, bro. And then the other side of that is, and then how are you offsetting this? Like, what are you doing to try to actually remedy the solution? Because everything that you're talking about, I mean, and we all come from different walks of life. But my concern is you're taking your anger and your frustration out on the wrong people. I mean, I didn't want to get here, but that's what it sounds like to me. You're not taking a full accountability and assessment of the things that are contributing to these
No, there was a little
circumstances.
girl that was 17-year-old that was unalived in Chicago, and nobody said nothing about it. They're still talking about stuff that happened with white men 4 or 5 days ago, and this 17-year-old lost her life yesterday to another black man. And as long
Yeah.
as nobody ever talk about it and just keep talking about stuff that don't matter, I'm going to continue to talk about the stuff that's happening right in front of our face.
Okay,
I just
but
feel like that's what
nobody,
God
no,
want me to do.
Hey
nobody,
Zeus.
Between y'all
nobody,
and God.
nobody, nobody
Hey
here is
Zeus.
saying
I ain't
nobody.
hear a
Hold on,
soul
hold
talk
on,
about
hold
that,
on.
man.
Hey
Nobody,
Zeus.
nobody. Hold on, Takesha, just a second. Nobody here is telling you that you can't talk about any of those issues, right? I think the thing that I have a problem with when you bring this stuff up is you're trying to act like Donald Trump is more. He's going to do something about this, right? And when I ask you, well, what is Trump going to do? You don't have any answers. And then I ask you, well, what should be done about it? You don't have any answers. Getting angry and being mad is no solution.
I'm not getting mad. We're just talking, and I don't know if y'all know what happened yesterday at Minnesota, but I covered that, and that wasn't the black community. I covered that, and I said guys like this need to be in prison and under some shackles. Like I covered that.
Yeah.
Y'all just don't like when I pick the black community
But
because
did
we
you go
bullshit.
to
Nobody said
Minnesota?
nothing about yesterday though.
Did you go to
When I did the
Minnesota
live
and
about the
Actually,
dude
advocate?
that pew the kids up,
Did you go
actually,
to Minnesota and
act,
advocate?
it happened 20. Or did you?
I'm not the one that's out here acting like I'm a Black Panther. That's you.
Okay. So one
so
day I'm a
so Dame,
sellout.
Dame. Is it
Y'all
just
need to pick a
is
side.
it
Am I a
enough?
sellout? Hold on.
Dame,
Am I a sellout or am I a Black Panther? Which one is it?
I
the
Because
just
now
asked
y'all
you a
all over the
simple
place.
question.
You need
well,
I
to
asked
pick
you,
she's
did
something.
you go to
she
Minnesota
said you're
and
acting like a Black
advocate?
Panther, all right, and that's completely. You could be a sellout that acts like a Black Panther, okay, Dame?
That don't make no sense, but
It
all right.
doesn't, but I just made it make sense to
But
you.
Zeus, can I ask you, who called him a sellout?
I didn't hear no one say that.
See, that's
Okay.
my problem with Dame.
All
Dame
right.
just make up stuff in his head that people
But
say that people ain't even said.
All
but
right. Nobody
Takesha,
called Dame a sellout. Got it. All right.
he's been in a lot of spaces on the app, and maybe in one of those lives he was in, someone said that, and it's still,
Zeus,
bouncing
that ain't
around in
got
his
nothing to
head.
do with that ain't
Well,
got nothing to do with Kiki. You can't throw other folks' words on Kiki.
yeah,
I'm responsible for only what I say to Dame,
I
and he
get
need to
that.
stick with the conversation he's having with Kiki.
I get that. And again, that's what I'm trying to encourage Dame to do. And so Dame, here's my issue with what you're doing, right? We all have people, and I'm assuming you come from a background similar to mine, not exactly the same. And what's happening in these inner cities, as far as I'm concerned, it's really the result of a lot of breakdowns that have happened in the black community. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you grow up and all you know is crime, that's what tends to be the mindset inside of these children that grow up and then they do harmful things. And a lot of it comes from the kids themselves. So my question to you is, before it gets to the place where it actually spills out into physical violence, what measures are you recommending be implemented to address this? That's my question. Because this is the difference between you and me. I'd rather address it before it actually turns into that.
My solution, I always said on my live, Zeus, my solution is prison, long-term prison sentences, solitary confinement, and more police
To the
presence.
kids, these
More.
people don't just listen. You don't come out of the womb proverbially with a pew pew on you,
Well,
right?
this is the thing,
No,
Zeus.
no,
This is the thing.
you
We have
believe
older
no,
we have
no,
older
no.
guys. We
You're
have older
protecting.
guys.
You believe in respect. Looking out
No,
for
Zeus,
children.
Zeus. I've been outside and not too long ago. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's guys me and your age that send the younger gang members. This is why I'm anti-gang and I'm a radical anti-ganger, Zeus, because they got guys me and your age that send 13, 14,
I
15
get
year olds
that.
out to do the hard stuff. So we need them to be able to be locked up because that's a loophole.
Okay. All right. Okay, but
That's
Dame,
why I say
Dame,
long-term
Dame,
prison
Dame,
sentences.
you're not addressing the children in this entire
Listen,
thing.
it's a loophole. Zeus. Kids can break the law and get right back out.
Okay.
So there's no answer for that.
Okay, so there's no answer for it. All right, that's what you believe, and that's
Well,
the
there's no
thing.
solution right
No,
now.
no,
though.
no. Actually, there are solutions. You could have said, Zeus, I actually participate as a mentor in my community to these children, and I show them, other avenues that they can go about in terms of trying to become successful. I recommend them to various institutions and programs so that they can learn trades, and they don't got to go to those people that are what you're labeling bad actors. But you're not doing that. You're sitting up here and you're trying to make it seem like Democrats created these conditions, or the white liberals. They've created these conditions, and
They
you're totally
absolutely
turning
did.
up.
They absolutely did. Zeus.
Okay. So when are you going to expand your horizons and open up your mind and realize that the enemy isn't who you think it is? It's probably the person you're sitting there next to and supporting Donald Trump, because that's what I don't hear you covering. You've never covered anything Donald Trump has done to actually make this situation a lot worse. You're not doing that. And this argument, you're going to save one black woman. She doesn't even need you to save her. I know of Alyssa. I don't know her, but she doesn't need you to save her. You need to be more focused about saving yourself. If you were a true Christian, you would know that you can only save yourself. And you are not leading by example in all of this. I asked you, what are you doing to address it? And it starts with the kids, to be quite honest, and you have nothing. At least you got to look at the Democrats and go, they're doing more to actually provide these services to the kids. All right. Maybe you don't know about it. A lot of times it comes in the form of grant funding. When was the last time you applied for a grant? When was the last time you helped a nonprofit get funding to actually do things to help kids have solutions from their cradle all the way to their career? You ever done anything like that? And I know the answer is no.
Yes, I have. I have donated to multiple places.
I didn't ask you
Absolutely.
if you donated. I've asked you if you've secured funding.
No,
Have you ever
I haven't.
secured? Huh?
No.
Okay. Are you meeting with
I don't
people
think that
locally?
works.
Are you meeting? Huh?
I don't think Big Brother programs. I don't think. I
You're
mean, that
talking to
sounds
somebody
good.
that's it benefited. It benefited me. So you can't even go
Well,
away
just
with
like
that.
you told me, you one person, Zeus. I'm talking about overall this community. We've had all of that, bro, in all of these communities. I get it. You're right. Yes, they need more jobs.
So
They
which
need
administration is
trades and
cutting the
stuff.
funding
But
for these things?
they need something more radical, bro. Because clearly it's very it's little effectiveness to that. It's
So
not
you
much
believe jail time?
55 black people got pew-pewed over the 4th of July weekend, bro. That's the issue. If it was one black person by a white man, the whole city would have been in the street. 55 black people got shot. July 4th weekend. No pew. I'm sorry, pew-pewed. Not a soul uttered nothing. That's an issue, bro. That's the issue.
And I'm not going to minimize that and say it's not an issue. But what I'm saying to you is it's not the only issue. Do you get the difference?
That's the issue. I decided to prioritize Zeus because
Yeah.
that's what affected me personally. That's where I got trauma from.
Yeah.
Seeing my best friends unalive in my arms.
Yeah.
That's where I got trauma from. So I'm sorry.
And what have you done,
It's not
Dame?
prioritized.
Dame, what have
Go
you
ahead.
done to address your own personal trauma? Because the concern that I have is the victim becomes the villain, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't think you're actually, and I'm just going to give you the feedback based on this I don't think you're actually helping the cause. You're actually making it worse because the energy you're putting it out, it's making people want to turn up and actually go at you now and attack you. And now that's another brother out, laid out for whatever the reason. I was standing up for a noble cause. Okay, so what are you going to do with that feedback where it's like, hey, okay, I see your heart's in the right space, your heart's in the right place, but the way you're going about it, it's clearly not working. What point do you turn this thing around and say, okay, maybe I do got to link up with people like Big Zeus, people like Q Dog, and these white liberals in order to actually have positive outcomes in my community?
I think a white liberal is the last thing I need to
And that's
link
and
up
that's
with.
going to be honestly, and the roadblock, that's a mental block that you've caused yourself to, you've inherited this somewhere along the way. Your belief system has been compromised, and you believe that every person that's a white, hold on, you believe every person that's white and a liberal can't help you. That's crazy.
I didn't say. I don't think that. I don't.
That's crazy.
That is ignorant. That's
because
just like somebody
change in this country, whether you know it or not, we are not the majority, right? In this country. So change in this country requires them to be on board with whatever it is that needs to happen. And you're sitting up here and you're letting the people who program, and this is why I say a lot of brothers and sisters that are blacker have been compromised at the highest level by Russian propaganda, and they don't even understand. And they don't even understand their history. You don't even.
Malcolm X was wrong about the white liberal. I should disregard what I learned from Malcolm X about the white liberal and the white conservative, right?
I hate to tell you that, but yeah, because guess what? What Malcolm X was dealing with was that time frame he was in. But Dame, you're in 2025. All right.
Thank you.
Software updates for Dame. You know on your phone. Hey, Dame. In that moment Malcolm X was in, it may have resonated well, and that was the energy. But you got to pick up from where he left you and get to where we at right now. We in 2025. Quit going back to 1965 and stuff like that. We got a different. Hold on. The battlefield has changed, Dame. And you still trying to go to war with them old tools, and we trying to tell you, man, you need to update your software, bro. Because you out here talking about this and that, and we looking at you like, bro, we ain't on that type of time right now. This is a different. We gotta admit, we have a sitting president of the United States, bro, actively going after you, and you can't see it. You can't see it. Because you so hell-bent on looking at the white liberal in 1965 when Malcolm X was around. Malcolm X is a human being. He had his moment. He had a reason. And I believe at that moment, it was needed for what him and Martin Luther King were doing. But you got to pick up the pieces, brother. It can continue to carry the cross. And you're not doing that. You're making yourself out to be a victim in every situation you're in, instead of looking at it and recognizing, oh, there are these things that I can be doing out here to actually make my living situation a lot better. Yeah, I've been through a lot of things, but I'm not the only person on the planet that's going through things. You see what's happening in all these other parts of the world. You know what you're dealing with, and it's tragic. That doesn't describe what's happening in other parts of the world. You're still privileged. You're still blessed, brother. You know it. Look at what's happening in Israel. Look at what's happening in Ukraine right now. You don't have to go through that.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't. Okay, so the battlefield is here, Dame. And what we're seeing happening is Donald Trump's administration. You want to talk about helping kids? Okay, well, he's giving preferential treatment to a woman who trafficked children. The man invited a war criminal, all right, who is selling children, on top of that, to come to the United States and disrespect this country and disrespect our men and women in uniform. What do you think? And then he's actually taking funding from communities that you come from, whether it's through Medicaid, healthcare, and stuff like that, or SNAP benefits, feeding the children. He's actively setting up situations in your community to create more of the people you are sitting up here crying and complaining about, and you can't see it.
And Zeus took free lunch from children who can't afford it. Let's not leave that out, Zeus.
That man did not take- that man did not
impacts.
take free lunch.
How many days do you go to the school and feed the children, Dan?
That man ain't take free lunch from nobody, man.
I can call my grandbaby school right now.
And guess what? All them children gonna eat. That's a bunch of fear
Let
mongering.
me explain something to you. And you listen good.
Oh, this is good.
Cut
This
the
is
crap.
good. This is church.
Nah,
This
I'm
morning.
not doing that, Chief.
Dang.
He disrespected my
Cut
mother, Zeus, so
the
I'm gonna
crap.
roll out because I don't want to get my
Who
page
disrespected
back.
your mother?
Him. He said my mama should have swallowed. So if I see him, I'm gonna swallow him.
Well, we're not gonna.
Antifa said that. So yeah, I'm not about to be on a panel with nobody that disrespect my mother, and I never even talked about his zesty ass ways.
Okay,
I never
okay.
said nothing
All right,
about
all
his
right,
zesty
all right,
ass ways.
all right. We'll deal with that another day.
Dame.
We'll
Dame,
deal
I
with
wanted
that.
to-
Sorry, Nutty, but we'll deal with that another day then. How about that, Dame? And then you can sit here and take the feedback, right? Because I want to make sure you get it.
Dame, I wanted to come up and talk to you personally because what I just heard you say from a place of trauma really did concern me. Because here's the thing. You're not the only one who has experienced trauma or experienced violence based on your community. And what you're doing is harming your community more by voting against your community for all the programs, all the things that need to be provided. And it is not the GOP, it is not the MAGA party that is going to provide for your community. It is going to be the people who wrote the laws to provide civil rights, human rights, women's rights, educational rights. And you're leaving because you can't handle the truth. But for everybody else in here, when I was 16, my brother was brutally unalived in our community by his own racial group, okay? And I don't go through life blaming every single Latino or Hispanic male for unaliving my brother. I blame the people who committed the crimes. I blame the people who were involved in gang situations. I blame the system who failed to incarcerate these people who had committed multiple crimes previously. And so this is the problem with the mindset of trying to call it black on black crime, because crime is crime. No matter who's committing it, it's simply crime. And we can learn from all of these mass unalivings in schools that the majority of people committing these mass unalivements, the majority of people committing the crimes of serial unalivements, the people who commit the most violent, heinous acts against women and children are predominantly white males in our society.
Bingo.
And I am sick and tired of the excuses. And I'm going to go one level up here, and present company not included, but 90% of all violent crime, everybody listen, 90% of all violent crime is committed by men in this country. Men, M-E-N, full stop. And so you want to get your shit, I am speaking and you will not disrespect me, because I came up here to talk to you sincerely and genuinely, and you dropped like the coward you are.
My phone died, but you're not
It is
about to call me a
proximity.
coward.
Okay,
It
okay.
is
Well
the
then let's
proximity.
okay. Hold on.
To the people.
We're gonna bring it back to a respectful level. Okay. Well, it looked like you ran, Dame, and so we didn't know that. And I don't like doing that where people just run after it gets real serious, all right? Because it just makes me feel, so I was at the same level Jim was at. But let's try to get this back here because, number one, we don't got all day. But I do hope this conversation results in something positive, seriously, because that's what I'm about.
So the reason I came up to actually talk to you, Dame, is because here's what you're doing. Because people in your community were unalived by people who look like you, who live in your community, you are going to go after the entire community by siding with and having proximity in your mind to the white male voter to control. And the words you're using is really terrifying about how you think that there needs to be this shift. That's what they want you to think. They want you to think that the real villains are right within your community. But what you're failing to comprehend, is that the more you take away from your community, grant funding, food programs, education, healthcare, despair rises. And when despair rises and socioeconomic inequality rises in communities, crimes also rise, and you begin to prey on the very people that you are closest to. Because if you see that your neighbor has more than you can't afford those shoes, you can't feed your babies, you can't do that, you can't buy a home, that is when crime rises. And it doesn't matter what community you're in, whether it's the Appalachian Mountains or the streets in Detroit or the suburbs in Chicago, where people are starting to come out of poverty. When crime happens, it happens at the closest proximity. They're not driving clear over to Los Angeles, California, Beverly Hills to commit said crime. Most of the kids that commit the crimes in Beverly Hills are the very rich kids that grow up in Beverly Hills. Nobody talks about that. So let me repeat when I said to you, it is not black on black crime. It is simply crime. Somebody went out and decided to get involved in some type of gang violence or some type of drug DRUG sale, or somebody decided to attack somebody for a look or a color or something, and it pops off. And it is because we, the people, are not doing enough to fight for more programs, more food health, more health and safety issues in our communities. We're allowing people sitting in the White House right now in this administration who is a convicted felon, who is an adjudicated sexual assaulter, who has had 27 allegations against him, who has admitted to walking in on young women, who has admitted to wanting to grab women and just kiss them and grab them by the crotch. And you're up here talking about just your community when you have failed to comprehend that you voted for the very type of person that commits crimes against women, crimes against the African American community. He literally took out a full-page ad and asked for the unalivement of 5 innocent young men. So please miss me with you are trying to help the black community. You are not.
I did
You are
help him. I
harming the
did help
black
him. You can't
community
tell me
with
what the
your
hell I
vote.
did for my
And you
community.
do
You
not
ain't there.
believe in God,
You can't
sir.
tell me
You
what the hell I
worship
did
the
for my
ungodly.
community. You're not there.
You worship
You're not
the
there.
ungodly.
Hey,
You
you're not in my
worship the
community.
ungodly.
You don't know what
See,
the hell
I
I
knew
did
you
for my
weren't going to
community.
let me finish because
No,
I was about
I'm
to
not
let
about to
you
hear you
respond.
rant for 20
You
minutes.
do not
Who the
worship
hell
God.
hold
Hold
You
on.
do not follow
I'm
the word.
it's the host. It's the host. I don't want it to get into a negative outcome. All right, we're heading towards positive space because Dame, I'll say this: it is
Hold on,
difficult.
let me respond right quick.
No,
Zeus,
let me
ask her.
finish because
Well,
I'm the
hold
host.
on. I was in the middle.
No, let me finish.
Ask her how
Let
many
me
of her best
finish.
friends
You're
been
not going to talk
unalived in
over
her
me.
arms. Ask her
No.
that. How many of
You're
her
not
best
going to
friends been
talk over me.
unalived in her arms?
Okay,
You're
but we
not
can.
going to talk over me. You
we
don't know
can-
anything about me,
I don't
Dave.
wanna
We've
hear- I don't
already
wanna hear nothing
established
but-
this.
Can
Tell
we
me how many
order?
of your close
I've
friends.
done
Order.
farmers
Your close
communities.
friends.
I've done
Order!
farmers
I got to
communities.
I got to take this thing and get it back under control. Zeus has to always be in control. All right? We all are passionate. I get it. All right? Dame, you're not going to be able to get everything out. Jim, Takesha, myself, Nutty, we can't get it all out in 20 minutes when we get the moment to talk to each other and we're trying to cross the aisle. All right, but I've learned something, especially being on this app and going on the other side, and this is on your end, Dame. If it doesn't bother you, if it's not true, you just kind of got to let it come out and be what it is. All right, and then if there is clarification needed, there will be an opportunity for it. I believe that can be achieved if we all try to be as respectful as possible. All right.
But it's just the thing,
I
Zeus.
got
Like who gave you the power?
She can
Can I
say,
just
Dame.
finish?
She can say whatever she wants to say.
She could. She
okay.
could.
So
Zeus.
why is it an issue then? Because to be honest, they've heard you, me, and Takesha talking.
That's what I was going to tell you, Zeus. I got to drop down, but I
Okay.
wanted to tell Dane one thing before I drop, because this was me and Dane conversation first. Dane, I think that the trauma that you witnessed with your friend, you need to go sit down and talk to somebody about, because I think, and this is just me being honest, I think that trauma did something to you that has your thinking the way it is, baby. So I'm going to pray about that for you, but I think you need to go and talk to somebody about the trauma that you witnessed that day, because it really is having an effect
It wasn't
on
just it
you.
wasn't just that day. It was multiple instances
Yeah, but
throughout
I'm
my
just
life. That's
saying you
number one.
need
And,
to.
and let me ask you this, Mr. Keisha. After I do get the therapy I need and I'm good, what's gonna keep the rest of those mamas from losing their children and
Okay.
and,
Okay.
and, and being
Because if
and
you
being
get the
depressed for the
tool,
rest of their life?
if you
Okay.
get the tool you need, even after they face trauma,
Mm-hmm.
guess what you can do? You can help them, because your testimony of how you sat and got healed and deal with it can help them.
Fair
All
enough.
right, Zeus, I
And
gotta
Thank
I
you,
go.
and that's
Takesha.
what
And then
I do
and then
talk
I
to
want to
them.
make sure I let Jim have the opportunity to wrap up what she's saying, Dame, because I will stay a little extra later than I normally do, so you can actually get it off or whatever you want to say in terms of your response. But I'm trying to actually follow where this is going so we can, end this. And I don't expect us all to agree, but at least the issues will be addressed. And so nobody should be personally insulting anyone. All right. But you should be able to handle the truth. Or if Jim says what she says, it's her. It's her. That's who she is. She has a right to say it.
So,
I go to your platform and they do it to me, and I show you through leadership and example how to deal with stuff like this. So
No, you're right. You're right.
so the truth of the matter is what he's actually experienced is called compound trauma. It is when the layers of trauma go on top of each other. Picture it like a brick wall, since you guys like walls so much on the Republican side. Every time there's another trauma that you haven't dealt with, you lay the brick, you add the cement. You lay the brick, you add the cement, and it builds a wall. And what you have done is you have created a wall within your own world of listening to what's actually causing the trauma, what's actually harming the community. And you continue to attack the very people that you should be helping to protect. And so when you come up here and you claim Christianity and you claim that you follow the word of God, you are not following the word of God. You are not worshiping God or following the biblical scripture that you claim to love so much, when you're doing the opposite of everything that's in that scripture. When you are a Christian, or when you are a person of faith, you are supposed to use that faith to better yourself, not to use it as a dagger to harm others. And that's what you're doing. You're voting against the very people who created civil rights, who fought and walked and protected and developed laws, who protected women. You guys like to come in the MAGA lives, and you come into our lives and talk about the 1994 crime bill, not even recognizing that the NAACP and the Black Caucus supported that crime bill wholeheartedly to protect their communities because they saw a problem. You don't listen or actually read the crime bill. You say Joe Biden wrote the crime bill. Joe Biden did not write the crime bill. He didn't even introduce it into Congress. He was a senator, and his portion of that bill was a act called Domestic Violence Against Women Act. You might want to try to go read it, because your current administration is rolling back
And his
those
racist
protections
ass
for
said I
women.
would be a predator
Why are
running
you
through somebody
interrupting?
else's living room, stealing something. But go ahead.
I'm done. He's not worth my time. Anyway, I love you. For everybody
love
else
you
in
too,
here,
Jay.
understand that when
You're
you talk
definitely not
about
worth
any
my
type
time.
of criminality, anytime you talk about criminality, the person who is committing the crime is the criminal. The person who supports the criminal is a complicit criminal.
So
And
what
that
is,
is
what,
what
what is
we're
the
witnessing
community
in
that
the white.
protects? Hold on.
Stop talking
What is
over
the
me.
community that protects that criminal and don't turn
I'm
him
done.
in?
You see, this is
Yeah,
why
thank you.
men
Shut
are
up,
the
because
biggest
you're not in the
problem.
black
Don't
community.
tell me to shut
You
up.
looking from outside.
Don't
Shut up.
disrespect me.
See, I gotta do that, Dame. You just can't do that. That's totally against
My
what
bad,
I was.
bro.
What
But
I just
she's
can't do. I
highly
just can't.
disrespectful, Zeus.
Listen. I'm trying to land this thing on a positive spot. Jim said she needed to say what she needed to say, and then she was going to go on. And then we got to hear Q Dog, we got King Nutty, and we got Val. I got to wrap this up,
I
but we
should be
can't.
able to. I let you respond, Zeus.
We
When they go at
literally
you, bro. I let
have
you
a
respond, man.
White House that paroled,
I said I'm staying late, so we're all going to have a
literally
chance to
pardoned
respond.
1,600 criminals. Let me repeat that. We literally have an administration that pardoned 1,600 criminals that attacked the U.S. Capitol. And after that pardon,
After
we are
she's
now
done.
witnessing the United States Air Force give full honors to somebody who tried to break into the congressional chambers and are literally harming the officer attacking the officer, who is a black man, by the way, Dame, who literally protected members of Congress and the Vice President of the United States. So please miss me with your comprehension of protecting the community, because you would rather see them lay down and play dead for these people to walk over their bodies than to actually stand up for justice in this society for your community. You're dismissed.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
I'm
Jim.
so
All right, now,
glad.
Dame. She left. What do you have to say? And speak
Of
to
course,
the
because
issues.
because
You don't
that
gotta.
was,
You don't gotta
she's the same
address her.
coward that she claimed that I was, but she
Okay,
can't
but
even stay to hear my response. Anyway, Zeus, the reason why I go at the whole community, because when stuff happened like it did a few months ago, and when the little girl was pew-pewed in the McDonald's parking lot when they was looking for the dad, they pew-pewed her as well. And you think the black community came together and turned the Negroes in? No, the police had to find them. So yes, when you protect somebody like that unalive children, unalive their own people, the whole community is up. And I don't give a shit who don't like it,
why do you
because
gotta
y'all probably
curse?
guilty of it. That's why. You
Why you
probably
gotta
guilty.
curse?
You probably didn't hit a criminal.
I didn't hear the cursing.
Hit
You were
unaliver
cursing.
in your neighborhood. So yes, when it's not just the unalive, it's the people that protect him and don't turn his ass in.
Oh, okay. All right. So you still don't think we're focusing on the criminals enough? All right. I gotta let Q Dog talk.
No,
all right?
Democrats are pro-crime.
Okay. Q Dog. Q Dog. We have a brother. I'm gonna be honest, and I want to laugh, but I feel like he's in crisis.
Yeah, because the truth make too much sense to y'all. Y'all know it's the truth, and y'all spirit deep inside know everything I'm saying the truth. But y'all could cap for these people for entertainment purposes. Go ahead.
Dame, I need to know a few things. First, I'm recovering from a surgery that could have took my life. I wouldn't be here today if I waited 3 more days for the surgery. I had to have emergency surgery on Wednesday. So I'm gonna be very light with my conversation with you today. I just need to know, where is this energy when it comes to some of the things that Trump does? We've asked this question time and time again, bro. The things that you're mentioning about the unalignment, so said person or whatnot, where is this energy at when we talk about, I seen a post where it was a group of Latino men being transported like slaves, back in the day when they had them in the back of the wagon tied together, getting out of a truck and dragging them to the border. Where is the same outrage for our black and brown brothers and sisters? All people, matter of fact, anybody that is treated like that, inhumane. We have people that take more precedence over animals and dogs and treating them more like human beings than our actual brothers and sisters that walk the face of this earth. Where's the outrage and outcry when this happens? I need to know that, bro, because I hear this every day when you guys talk. This man right here to the right of you was one of the first people that called out to me to check on me before I went under the knife Wednesday. You gotta take the reins, bro. You're not promised tomorrow. Like I said, if I waited 3 more days, my surgeon said I wouldn't be here. And
I'm glad you got better, Q. I'm glad you got better, man.
I appreciate that, bro. I need you to take the same energy for your life and your brother's life and do like Jesus would do. I don't care if it's white, black, or brown. Right is right and wrong is wrong. What Takesha was saying was, when you entertain the devil, you can't have love for God and entertain the devil at the same time. It doesn't work.
You're right. You're right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Bro, I need you to start utilizing your platform that you've built up to come bring people together, because this is tearing us apart. And you know, I normally come rough and ragged when I'm saying my spiel, but bro, this is a different age right now. I gotta think about myself. I gotta think about my child, and I gotta think about my family. Because the only thing that I thought about was, if I'm not here, what's gonna happen to my child? And I need you to think of the same aspect with the people who love you. You understand what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, I got you.
I want you to stop this, man. Stop letting these people have you thinking that what he's doing that is wrong is right. And for you to back him, because when you gone, they're going to look for somebody else to do the same thing that you're doing. I need you to hear me today. You understand me, bro?
Yeah.
I'm coming at you with the love from one brother to another. No hatred, no aggravation, no frustration. Just pure, genuine love from one brother to another. And I hope you listen to me. That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you, Q Dog. Thank you, and I hope you're feeling better, champ. All right, don't push yourself too hard. You're gonna get hurt if you know what I'm saying. All right. Thank you, Dame. Is there anything you wanted to say to Q Dog? Because he was very blunt, about what he's feeling. And you notice, I don't think talking from a position of emotion is a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, and I think that's what we need more of, to be honest, and not locking people up and sending them to prison. I mean, yeah, if they break the law, but you know what? We got to figure out how to get at the root cause. So, if you got anything to say to that, brother Dame?
Nah, man, I don't want to get Q stressed out and all that debate talk. I'm gonna take what he said into consideration, though. I know how to take good advice.
All right, now listen. The next guest, this is Nutty again, and if it gets disrespectful, then I'll take care of it. But it shouldn't devolve into disrespect. And what y'all said to each other, y'all could work out amongst yourselves. I've learned over the years to stay out of grown men's business, but I'll just say this: it won't happen on my platform. Hey, Nutty, how are you?
What's good, my brother? How you doing?
What's going on, champion?
Hey, listen. If you notice when I was under my Antifa account and he said what he said, you notice I didn't turn my mic on and say anything, did I?
No.
And the reason why, because what happened in the past is the past. What happened in other lives is other lives. Don't bring it to this life. Yeah. And if we want to talk about our community, let's talk about our community. Yeah. And we spoke on this very briefly on yesterday, Zeus.
Yeah.
This is what makes me crash out. When I see people who look like me get into these lives and they cause harm. Dame, you don't understand how your words is causing harm to the community that you're saying that you're trying to protect. Do you not see how your words are causing harm? Because when you look at white folks who commit crime, we make excuses for them. We make excuses. Oh, they come from a bad home. They come from a broken home, or they have mental health issues. But yet you let a black person do it. Oh, they're just a criminal. They're in gangs. They're this, that, and the other. You hate the skin that you're in while preaching that you're protecting.
I hate you.
Oh, you know what? That's fine. You can hate me.
And your kind.
God loves me.
I hate you and your kind. Get it straight.
It's okay. Let him.
I go to the end of the earth for Zeus. I dislike you. I hate you. Your kind.
You know what, Dame? I'll say this.
I like you. I go to the end of the earth for Q. Your kind.
Wait a minute.
I hate you.
Dame. I don't like pushing hate on my platform. If you don't like somebody, fine.
Well, you just told me I hate myself, Zeus, so I had to correct you.
Oh my God.
And I don't know if he ever saw me.
Okay, but listen, Dame, you got to understand this about Nutty. He's honest to himself, and he believes things. And there's times him and we don't see eye to eye. All right, but I know the man is saying what he's saying because there's something in it. And you know, I've learned something. Feedback is a gift if you treat it that way. You can't always get your feedback with a bow tie on top of it. But I will say this, Nutty is being very respectful. And you know, he could say those things about you based on y'all's interaction, but he means well. He's not up here disrespecting you. I get told that all the time. I mean, and I get it. But it's up to me to actually take it and use it to become a better person. Every single person that you've interacted with on my platform are people that I have personally felt can help you out in a way, in one way or another. Their message and their delivery isn't like mine, all right, because I'm the Rizzler. But if you're really listening to it, you got to go, okay, I get it, because they hold me accountable.
Right.
So may I finish now, Zeus?
Sure.
I just want to point out one thing. I want all 1.2K people to understand I never said I hated Dane. I don't hate Dane. I hate his thinking. I hate his politics. But him, the person, I don't hate him, the person. Now, I have a grave dislike for him. But here's the difference between disliking someone and hating someone. If I saw him on the streets and I saw that he needed my help, guess what I'm going to do?
You give him the jumper cables.
I'm going to help him, especially since he's a brother that looks like me. Especially since he's someone that looks like me. I'm really going to go try to help him. So it's fine if he hates me. In fact, that tells me I'm doing something right. Because I'm going to tell the truth and I'm going to shame the devil.
Amen. Now, see, that's big right there. And that's big because Nutty wouldn't normally say that, Dane, because he at least said something. I would have said, did you vote for Trump? Oh, you did? Well, you know what, the hell with you. But Nutty said he wouldn't even do that. So you got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. That's love, bro.
And I want to make one thing perfectly clear, because I will not have anybody, I don't care if you're on this app or all outside the app, I will not ever let you disparage my name or my character. I never said anything bad about his mother. I don't know his mother. Mothers are off limits. Period. Point blank. End of discussion.
Yeah, you definitely said my mom should have swallowed, but it's cool. I'll let it go.
Now that, well, Dame, yes, you're correct. I did say that.
Oh, well, now that's accountability. You shouldn't have said that,
I
Nutty.
did say, no.
You shouldn't have said it then. You see
No,
how it harmed him. He
There's
said it hurt him.
context. There's context.
Yeah, my
to everything.
mama is not here no more, bro.
The harmful thing that Dame was saying in the moment, the harmful things that he was saying, I'm sorry, if you don't want your feelings hurt, you can't be out here hurting everybody else's feelings.
You're right.
Because if you hurt other people, hurt people hurt people.
Trauma.
So
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If that hurts you and that really hurt you, like you're saying it hurt you, then you know what? I can be man enough to say I apologize. But here's what I want you to take from that. Here's what I want you to take from that, Dane.
Wow.
You need to stop hurting others, because I will always stand for the least of these. For what you do unto me, you do unto the least of these. You cannot call yourself a Christian and you're out here hurting people.
Who am I hurting? You think you said I'm hurting people with the stuff I said?
Dane, I need you to really reflect on the things that you say, especially when you're in your life. Especially because, listen, I'm watching the comments here. I'm watching the comments, and I'm seeing the people who are gifting you, which I don't have any issues with anybody gifting you.
No.
But it's the type of people that are gifting you. If you notice that nobody from our community is gifting you, it's all fragile white women.
Wow.
It's fragile white women because you're playing into the white supremacy talking point, Dame. I need you to step back for a second, brother. Step back for a second. And not all money is good money. Because I don't care about these coins. Nobody has to give me. I don't care about them. But if you step back and look at the sheer people who are gifting you, you have to ask yourself, why are they resonating to what I'm saying? And my own people in my own community is not resonating with the things that I'm saying, because everything that you say, Dame, it should be to further your community. Nobody in our community is gifting you. Again, I have no issues with people gifting you, but not all money is good money, brother. Your harmful rhetoric is dangerous to the community that you're part of. I'm going to be quiet and give you a chance to respond.
Thank you, Nutty, and that's Nutty, really reeled in. I'm surprised. I got to go ahead and give him a trophy, but Dame, I'm not saying agree with all the things Nutty said, but could you at least acknowledge the angle he's coming at you from? It's sincere.
I see what he thinks. I understand what he thinks and why he thinks that what I say is harmful. I don't know what specifically. I guess it goes back to the accountability thing. Some people just don't like us talking about issues with our community with white people in the audience. I think that's the issue. If it was like an all black chat or if it was like a private chat, I don't think he would have those same sentiments. And I just don't believe nor care enough to where it's not about who hears the message. It's about whether the message gets around. Maybe it's a 17, 18-year-old, 16-year-old that's browsing through my chat and can hear it. That's what I hope for. Does it? I mean, the collateral damage. Yes, I look at that as like collateral damage. Yes, it's embarrassing for our community for others to have to hear it, but it's not that big of a deal to where it shouldn't be said. But as far as hurting people, I don't know what he means by like my rhetoric hurts people. Like
You could
I don't
ask
know.
him, say, "Hey, could you clarify what you mean?" I mean, because it's nothing to me. We're not going to keep having these kind of moments with each other, but when they happen, we deal with it. Nutty, could you clarify what you meant real quickly?
Yeah, so I attentively listened, especially when Takesha was talking to him. I listened to Dame speak when he was talking about the black community. And what Takesha said, listen, that was pure gold. There are traumas that we need to work through in our own community. But when you do not give, I'm not asking you to give everybody in our community a pass, but you have to also understand the trauma that our entire community has gone through. And because you are part of this community, Dame, you can't be so quick. You can't be so quick to want to punish us and let others go. Because when I look at you and I listen to you, Dame, and you go all in when it comes to black folks being punished. But yet you voted, man. You voted for a criminal. You voted for a man that doesn't even see our community as being worth anything.
Exactly.
This is what I don't understand. This is why I come so hard with you, man. Because you do have a platform. You do have a voice. And you have a responsibility. To whom much is given, much is required.
Amen.
He doesn't see us as people.
There you go. There
He
you go.
doesn't see us as human beings. Man. That's what we're all trying to tell you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we
Now,
need you to get it.
I'm going to go to Val because, I'm looking at the clock, and then we got Shay. Val, welcome back, Val. Nice to have you. It's always a pleasure. Hey, how's it going?
Hello, panel. Hello, Dane.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Boy, what a strong subject on Friday.
Right.
The very thing that I've witnessed through this whole thing, because I've witnessed this from beginning to end, all the way when this started to now. And we have a problem here. This is something that Dane thinks he's going to like to hear, but I'll explain. It's not just us, it's all of us. We have a problem here. I want to explain to Dane and everybody like Dane and everybody that votes like Dane and everybody that talks like Dane that comes on these panels. You're not the victim. You're the perpetrator. When you vote with a party that continues to hold communities down, that continues to stop helping people, that takes away protections for the people, that actually has removed accountability for police departments, and you continue to support that, you're not the victim. You are the perpetrator. If you want to know where the anger comes from, that's why. It's because people are tired of watching people come up and want to spread hate from a party that has done nothing but spread hate for almost 100 years now. Now, it hasn't been recent. It's almost 100 years. Donald Trump's just the latest and greatest version of it. Okay?
So it's 71 million perpetrators, Val?
Absolutely.
He's the new Bull Connor.
And
President
I
of the
haven't heard
United
that
States.
angle, Dame. To be fair, I haven't heard that angle Val had. But
Mm-hmm.
the first thing I do is say, well, what does Val mean by that? Because I'm going to go look into it once I hear what else he has to say, right? Because you just, but I understand it's truthful as well, because I do agree it didn't just start with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a historical measure since the Heritage Foundation has been created, to create laws to separate groups, to hurt minority groups. I mean, in every law they have ever passed or put forth.
Are you pertaining to the when you say took away? Are you pertaining to the time limits they want to put on things like Section 8? Is that what you mean?
Sir, I'm not talking, I hadn't got into specific laws. Every law they have passed for almost 50 years has done some sort of damage to the people of this country. And when you do damage to the people of this country, it's minority groups that are going to get hurt first.
So are you talking about, again, the Section 8? Because we're talking about right now, I guess historically, they want to put term limits on Section 8, 2 years. So I'm asking you, in your mind, do you think black people should be able to stay on Section 8 as long as generational, or do you think something should be done like it's being done?
I believe there needs, hold on, and I'll help with that a little bit. I believe there needs to be policies and things put in place that actually help give them the tools to get out of Section 8.
So actually giving them a place to stay is not enough. You actually have to pretty much force them to go out and make something of themselves. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying they need tools. It's not force, sir.
The tool is you have a place to stay, and you don't have to worry about a roof over your head.
Is finding out and learning if there's a mental health issue involved. The tool is learning and giving them something to help to give them actual skills to go out and know how to find a job or how to get, you know what I'm saying, or how to get off their feet. But first and foremost, with most people, and you know this as well as anybody, with a lot of people that are homeless or in Section 8, a lot of people, there's mental issues. This is a group of politicians in the Republican Party that have done nothing from the 1980s to now but reduce mental health care for people in this country in every state they control and nationally. And reduced it every year for the last almost 50 years, sir. 50 years. I've watched I've watched MMNA go away. Okay? And these are the things that they're doing. When I say tools, if somebody's having an issue in life and they're struggling and they've got to do it, you've got to help them lift themselves up. They can't do it by themselves. Everybody needs a hand.
You're right. You're right, Val.
And Dame, do you think it's only the black community on Section 8 and food stamps?
I don't know why y'all always try to get me to talk about other groups that I'm not a part of, but y'all get mad about when white
You
people
do
talk
realize,
about black issues.
and this is to the point, Dame, that we have an issue with your rhetoric because you're so focused on the black community, but you keep pushing the same narrative that the white conservatives are pushing at all times.
I don't give a
Welfare
shit what white.
Queens
I'm
came
sorry,
from the
my bad.
Conservative Party.
Monsieur, respectfully, I don't care what white MAGA, what white conservatives push,
But
but
you're
if it happens to agree, if they happen to agree with the same ideology or the same way I want my community to be, that's just what it is. I
really.
apologize. I apologize that they so happen to
Sir,
agree
the only
with what
thing
I
they
You want to
think.
go
agree
back to
about,
black codes
yeah,
and
Val. I did not see that's why I don't rock with you, Val, because I sat here quiet and listened to your malarkey. In the first sentence I said, you cut me off, bro. That's why I say like it's very
no, I had a
disingenuous
quick
talking to you,
statement
bro.
for that sentence. See, the
All
thing
right,
is
all
like
right.
if somebody gets
Go
to
ahead,
go
bro.
on for a long time, people forget what they're trying to say. Okay, the thing is, sir, is the community that you say you don't care about, the white conservatives that you don't care about, that is the communities that have been making the laws that have held your group down.
Yep, I was about to say that. It was the white conservatives that did the black codes. It was the white conservatives that did segregation and Jim Crow laws. But you are the mouthpiece for the white conservative movement
Okay,
because
what
the
do I
stuff you're
okay,
pushing
give
about the
me
black
And
community
and
fits their narrative,
and,
Shay,
and,
Dame.
and I
Shay,
just want to
give
say
me one
this
thing I'll
about
Fits
say.
their
I want to
narrative,
say this
Dame.
about Section 8. Okay, it looks like 44% of black people who are getting Section 8, 44% are black. So, Dame, it just shows you that it's not all black people on Section 8. So,
I never said
but when you're speaking on things like that, the harm comes when you try to make it look like Section 8 black people. And it's not even black people that are the majority.
I never said black. I just said, do you think Section A is meant to
Yeah, but why even
see
bring that up? Why bring it up?
because Val said he took things away. So I was trying to see what is he taking away? Are you talking about Section A? Because I haven't seen
Okay,
it.
but
Anybody on this besides the Smithsonian thing that I never saw a black person visit, by the way. Besides that, can anybody tell me
I'm sorry,
specifically?
what?
Wait, right there,
Can
right there,
anybody tell me
Zeus,
specifically
right there.
what he has taken away from
Dame
black
wanted to
people?
know. Dame wanted to know what I felt. The things that he says are harmful. There is a great example right there.
Right there.
Just
There was
because
a
I said I've never saw nobody go there, that's harmful.
So Dame, do you go to Washington D.C. all the time and stand in front of the
I've
Smithsonian?
been to the
to see
Martin
who
Luther
walks
King
in and walks
Museum.
out of the
I've been to
Smithsonian?
the Smithsonian Museum.
Okay.
I've been. I'm saying I've
Hold on.
never seen nobody.
Hold on. We're getting. Hold on. Okay, I gotta
Like
do
I
like
said, I've been to the
Abigail
I've been
Phillips.
to the
Hold on.
African
Hold
American
on.
Museum
Zeus
here
has to
in
rein
Houston,
this
Texas.
in. Hold on. Zeus has to rein this in. Who left? Who was that?
Was that the? Oh, it was your account, sweetheart.
Oh, okay.
Back up.
Oh, wow. Okay. I need to say this.
Zeus left his own live.
Yeah. So, Dame, the whole point I was trying to make sure you and I understood was when Val said what he said, the fact that your mind instantly went to Section 8 was an issue to me because there's other things. I could talk about research funding. But why did you instantly go to Section 8 was my question. Because that was offensive. That to me says your impression, and you think we're all outraged because of Section 8 stuff. No. You get what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying.
So,
and
what Shay is saying is you're the mouthpiece for the conservative movement, the white conservative. I hope you're processing why we're saying this stuff because they say a bunch of things.
Wouldn't that hurt them if they're on Section 8 at no numbers? If I'm spewing the same thing that they spewing, or would that just take away from black people, or would that take away from them too? So are the conservatives?
Okay,
Wait,
you're getting into another question on top. I just wanted to clear that up.
I'm just saying because we
black
making it
people
like it's a
aren't
black thing,
all
but
black people that support Democrats aren't on Section 8. I wouldn't be upset if Donald Trump did a little something I disagreed with. But if the threat wasn't being perceived to be as dangerous as it is, then, because I can see it as dangerous, it's like, oh, he's not just doing that. It's all of these things. That's why a lot of us are upset, Dame. Now, Shay, please continue because I don't got all morning. This is Friday. Sheesh.
Yeah,
Labor Day weekend.
I sit here and go, you're talking about black people going to the Smithsonian Museum. Oh my God. I mean, I don't still support a man that says, was slavery bad, Dame? Was slavery an awful institution?
He has to say yes.
I don't really think I'm playing. Yeah, of course it was. What kind of question is that? Like, what
I
kind of
have to
question is
ask
Well,
that?
it because
And this is
there's
why
been
building
outrage
trust.
to
It's
what Donald
building
Trump said about it.
trust. It's building trust, Dame. Come on, let's keep it going,
No,
man.
I'm being facetious for a reason, Dane.
Right.
Have you on your live called out what Trump said about the fact that the Smithsonian is too focused on that slavery is so bad?
That's a fair question.
Did
So
I
I'm
call it out?
asking you, do you agree with him or do you disagree with him? And have you done a live educating your community about the fact that we need to keep talking about how awful it was? Because I am a historian and there are things I never heard about, like Tulsa and Lake Lanier and Rosewood. I never knew about these places. And I learned a lot about the civil rights movement and I used to teach it, yet I have never heard of those things. So there's a problem and a gap in the information of American history when it comes to the Black community.
Amen.
And so I think the Smithsonian and teachers and everybody should be teaching American history correctly.
Amen.
About Christopher Columbus, about all of it.
Amen.
All of it. So you have a white supremacist president, and don't tell me that man's not racist.
Amen.
Because he's pushing a racist agenda, so I don't care. Blue is blue, black is black. I mean, doesn't matter. It's all the same hat.
Yeah.
So-
But Shay, can we get him to at least give us an answer? And it's just a yes or no, Dane.
Yeah, so it was slavery bad.
And did he do a live on it?
was
Did you
bad.
do a live
Did you
calling
do a
out?
live on it?
I never did. No, I never did a live on how bad slavery was. No.
No,
Well,
or calling
about
Trump out.
saying it isn't bad, and we shouldn't be teaching how bad it was.
If anybody in here from my chat, they'll tell you I called Trump out. I say he's always said the wrong dumb shit a lot of times. I always say that. So
Hey, you curse.
did I call him out specifically for that tweet? No, I didn't.
No, and not to mention, and not to
If you're going to be the
Thank you for
mouthpiece
your
for the
honesty,
Black
Dan.
community,
But I would
can you
argue
do
that
something
I would,
positive
hold on,
instead of so
Shay.
negative?
I would
How many
argue
of them are on
that
Section
falls
8?
in.
That would be great.
Yeah, I would argue that falls in some of the dumb shit that he says.
Why
that
you
I
gotta
don't agree
curse?
with. My bad.
dumb.
My bad, sis. I would agree
Not
that
dumb,
falls
sweetheart.
in some of the
It's-
dumb stuff. And not just me,
Sweetheart,
everybody
it's
in my
not
chat, they
dumb.
agree. Sometimes he says too much stuff, he says dumb stuff, but what he's doing as far as action, I don't see it affecting people as badly as you guys are trying to
He
insinuate.
wants to shut us up about talking about how bad this country has been to the Black community.
And don't forget.
And you don't see
And
this?
say, in my experience, I've saw the Black community be bad to the Black community.
Right.
So how about that?
Right.
My
By the way,
experience,
I'll call
hold
you
on.
later,
My
baby.
experience, Shay,
Dang.
internally
Right.
versus your
I'm looking at the time, and then
from looking outside.
and we gotta
How
pay the
about that?
bills, and we gotta pay the
I
bills. Big
understand
Zeus has
I'm
to get
outside
out of
your
here.
community, honey, but I
Okay,
also
well,
know
stop
your
trying to
history,
tell
We-
somebody.
and I'm not going to let
we-
a president of the United
Hey,
States
guys,
talk
before this
about
gets
your
out of
community
control,
like
can I
that.
say one thing?
My
So there you
stepmother
go.
was
Hold
my
on,
stepmother was
Who was that, Val? You were
on the
saying
live.
something?
So
You
you
wanna-
don't
Yeah,
know
I said
half of
before
what
this
goes
gets
on
out
in
of
this
control.
community.
Yeah, 'cause
Stop
we-
trying to look from the
Hold on,
outside
Dame.
from a
Hold on,
historical
Dame.
point of
Hold
view.
on,
No,
Dame.
You
Hold on,
don't
Dame.
know what's going
White
on.
Hold on.
people
I'll drop
marched with
everybody.
Martin Luther
I'll
King.
clear this box.
Stop.
Hold on. I'll clear the box. Zeus
You're
has to
attacking white
always be in
liberals.
control. Zeus always has to be in control of these boxes because I can't hear anything.
Sorry.
We got 2 minutes left. Everybody gets 30 seconds. Go ahead and let's sign this thing off. All right, starting with you, Shay, because I got to get out of here. Go, and I'm
okay.
keeping. And you got to have a tight 30 seconds. If you
I
go
wanna
over,
give
I'm just going
more-
to mute your
More
box.
of my time to Nutty and Q Dog. I'm just going to say what I'm going to say,
Mhm.
and that is that you keep pushing for a man in the agenda of the white conservatives that want to shut down the Black community and tell them that they're victims and cry that they're on welfare and say that they're criminals, and you keep pushing that rhetoric.
Fair enough. Thank you, Shay. Val, yes.
Yes, he brought up Section 8. I want everybody to pay attention to one thing. Most of the people in Section 8 and the biggest contributor to Section 8 is single moms. Okay? That's the first thing you need to understand about Section 8. When you talk about policies that were taken away and we're starting to see companies drop, and now companies start to bring it back in because they've lost so many good people, DEI. They had a complete attack on DEI, and not even with the right narrative. That is the policies that they're putting forth that will hurt minority communities and women in this country. Period. End of story.
Fair enough. Val. Dame.
I agree with our the guy over our HUD. The one that they said Trump wouldn't hire the black guy over HUD. I just want to agree with what he said. Section 8 and programs like that was built to be a trampoline, not a hammock. It was meant to push you up, not for you to relax because you know the government got it. And anybody that disagree with that, you genuinely don't want to see the black community progress, because numbers have showed throughout the years, generational Section 8 and any other programs given by the government will not leverage you up into the next tax bracket. And that's why I want the black community to go, because until then, the crime will never stop. So that's all I want to say. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Dame. And you kept it a tight 30, but it was all wild. But okay, Nutty.
I don't give a damn about Section 8. I don't give a damn about food stamps, because at the end of the day, it's we the people. And if we have to be forced to pay taxes, I want my tax-paying dollars to go helping other United States citizens. And you know what? I'm going to go a step further. I don't care if you are undocumented. I want my money to go help human beings instead of being an agent of war. I don't give a damn dang.
All right, W Nutty, you did that in under 30. That was a tight 20. Q Dog, let's go.
To piggyback off of what Shay was saying, I'm a product of how it affected me with slavery. My 5-time great-grandparents were products of slavery, and my grandfather was sold off to another plantation. This is something that I brought up with DJ on the panel, and to find that out is very traumatizing for me. To find out that my grandfather was taken from his family and sold off to another slaver, and my grandmother was great. And that's the reason why I'm the complexion that I am. So it does affect people.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Q Dog. All right. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, we have an amazing group of people that came up here. Jim, I remember you. Takesha, I remember you. And I want to give each and every single one of these amazing panelists a huge, huge round of applause. And all of you in the audience. Wow. That was in it. You never know what's going to happen. You go live and then it just goes in that direction. But I do hope all of us who endured that was a very tough and difficult conversation to have. But I hope all of us who listened to it. Oh my gosh, W Lady. I hope you were able to walk away from this conversation knowing something you didn't already know. And I do honestly, Dame, I think it was big for you to be a little vulnerable this morning and let us know the things that are kind of contributing towards your frustration. I don't want to call it anger. But I do hope you took the feedback. All of us took time out of our busy mornings to give you. I hope that your followers that were listening took some of the feedback and actually do some meditation and listen and think about what's going on, because the enemy a lot of times you think is outside. And when you find out after years of just becoming a master of yourself, like I am, I'm a master of myself, you learn the enemy is actually a lot closer. It's within, right? W. Rick. W. Kapira. The enemy is within, all right? And a lot of the battles that you're fighting, 9 times out of 10, it starts within you, all right? The environment that's around you, it's going to be whatever it is. And I learned this one lesson. You can't control the environment, but you can control how you respond to it. And that's why, shows like this, sometimes I go against the grain and I engage people that a lot of people say, why the heck are you talking? And sometimes I'll go into other lives and people will say, why would you do that? And I say, you got to do something in order to reach these people who are lost. Some of them can be reached, but a lot of them I know, like I say, they're not going to make it to the midterms because Donald Trump is going to destroy them. And so to the Trump supporters and the Trump voters who are listening and watching us, and you think the solution to all your problems in life is just to get rid of the Democrats, I got some bad news for you. We're not going anywhere. W. Zeus. And quiet as it is kept, Donald Trump's health is, to me, it's the visual representation of MAGA. It really is. What you're watching is everything MAGA says that they represent, everything they said that they hate, it's manifested into Donald Trump, right? And the whole world is watching this entire thing come crashing down. And what I say to Blaga is this: you better wake up, like Governor Gavin Newsom says. Wake up, because there's already right-wing influencers that aren't black, they're white, seeing that Donald Trump lied to them, and they're booking it. They're running for the exits. They're trying to escape because they know they're cooked. They found out the IRS agents will be auditing them, even though Donald Trump said he was going to fire all those Biden-appointed IRS agents. Now they're finding out he's quietly bringing them back. He said he's getting rid of all these people who are in the country illegally, but you'll find out he's bringing them back in when he doesn't tell you. He brings them right back in. All the people they said they're getting, they're not even getting them. He's just doing that to get you to send him more money and to go take your behinds in there and go and vote. And Blaga, you will be the last ones in the cult when it all comes crashing down. The walls are going to come crashing down. People are going to be arrested and stuff like that. You'll be the sitting ducks in there because you chose to ignore all the warning signs. It's no accident, MAGA, that the entire universe, and I do mean this seriously, and then I got to get out of here. It's no accident that whether you're talking about us here in America and countries all around the world, that we're somehow united to see the hypocrisy and the danger of MAGA. All right, it's not just Democrats that think Donald Trump and MAGA are dangerous. The entire world does. All right, and I'll leave it at that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get out of here. That's a W's this. I want to give a special thank you to all of you. Thank you to the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists, because honestly, without this show, it wouldn't be what it was. Educational, engaging, and definitely entertaining. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame, and you know exactly who this goes out to. It goes out to all the Zeus haters. These people, it's like...
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Let's just go ahead and send them straight to hell. I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Wow. W to the panel.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And on that note, I got to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and I guarantee you, 3 months from now, we'll have somebody coming in and go, oh, Zeus, I remember that conversation you had, and I'm done with Donald Trump. We're out of here. Great show. Great show. Great show. Great show. Those poll numbers are coming down. Great show. WR. Hitting it out the park. W heaven. Hey, hey. Let's go, let's go, let's go. W Sydney. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, these are tough lives, but we got to do this. Let's go. 1600 Pennsylvania is still on the way, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. Let's go, let's go. Hey. I need to stay on longer. Come on now. Yeah. Let's go. Scorpion. Thank you, WR. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We hit it out the park today. Yeah, wow. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. You won't see anything like this. Thank you, everyone. Let's go. WB, honey dips. Let's go. W Kamira. Let's go. All right, it's Friday. We'll do some drill, baby drill, and then I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you all, like I said, have a wonderful and great weekend, all right? And be safe at whatever you do. We're going to get out of here.
Kamala Harris's war on Pennsylvania energy. And drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill.
We're going to be drilling so deep.
We're gonna be, for these guys, we're gonna drill, we're gonna take out so much money, we're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes.
All right, we'll do it together.
Insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill, we're gonna frack. Drill, there's a frack. There's a baby, there's a blessing in your energy. Because you know she's gonna bang.
You know she's gonna bang it.
Right? Hey! She was against something against all stuffing it, all stuffing it, we got a year to half ago.
When she was scared and killed in the patch, she said, I like fracking very much. Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical. Have a great rest of your weekend. And we will. Hey, how low can you go? Hey, let's hear it for all the radicals. Let's go. Yeah, it's on iPhone. It's on Apple Music. Just type in 3 Crossing. All right, like the username. We're gonna drill, baby, drill. Let's go. Yes, Q-Dog, you got the prayers. All right, let's do it together. You know they go crazy. The late great Hannibal. Oh, they do?
They say,
Leo.
Why would you mention
Yeah, why would you mention Hannibal Lecter?
We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say it. The late, great
Hannibal.
Drill, baby, drill,
Hannibal Lecter. Lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta go. Take care. Thank you, everyone. See you later.